Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody is having a fantastic little day. Today is a good day because today we are doing a live stream on this channel out of all channels with a show that is fantastic and that has no name, but it could always be named
The Screaming Goats
Show. Yeah,
the Screaming Goats podcast.
Because here we make goats scream, but not the way the Islamists do it. We
have a different method. We have an entirely different method.
That was here. Yes, I did. Yes, alhamdulillah. David, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, good. What's up with you?
Heard we got some news about Daniel Haqiqatjou.
Oh, we do indeed. And in fact, it is about Daniel Haqiqatjou, sponsored by our dear friends over at Visegrad 24, who have recently who have been engaging in some investigative hidden cam stuff and going on campuses and things like that. And they came across Daniel Haqiqatjou on one of their hidden cam operations.
Hey, Visegrad's cool and stuff, but are they copying what's that? What it's like O'Keefe dude? O'Keefe? The guy who goes around and like investigates everyone.
Yeah, they're doing that, but better.
Veritas? Is that Veritas?
Yeah. They're like Veritas, but they're actually good. So Visegrad is actually doing it the good way. So that's what they do. They're going around and investigating stuff and coming across also some Islamists being hosted on credible universities like a Queen's College in New York, and exposing to people what kind of stuff Daniel Haqiqatjou talked about at Queen's College, where apparently it is totally normal for an Islamist who believes in slavery and pedophilia and all kinds of ridiculously regular Islamic things, where somebody like that can be invited and just talk, and people wouldn't have quite the same tolerance if somebody of a different religion came and talked, in a slightly offensive way about their own religious beliefs or about others. But when an Islamist does it, it's totally fine, as it seems.
Yeah, and I have to say, the most significant takeaway in all of this is not whatever insane conspiracy nonsense Daniel's spouting at Queen's College. It's the fact that the MSA, the Muslim Students Association at Queen's College, when they have to pick someone who's going to deliver some powerful remarks, they choose the world's leading defender of child marriage, the world's leading defender of beating women and beating your wives into submission, the guy who wants to bring all this stuff back in all its Sharia compliant glory. Why is this relevant? Well, if you go back 10 years and I were talking to the MSA and I said to the MSA, hey, you guys, Islam supports child marriage and killing apostates and all these things, they would have said, no, you bigot, you liar, you Islamophobe, you bigot, liar, Islamophobe. That's all I would have gotten. And here we are. True colors. Who do we want to speak? The guy who defends child marriage and killing apostates and all these things. That's who we want speaking at our events. True freaking colors. So the question is, MSA, when just a few years ago you would call us all liars for saying any of these things, did you know back then that you were wrong? Like, did you know it? Were you in a state of ignorance about what Islam teaches and you were just calling us liars out of ignorance? Or did you know and you knew we were right, but you didn't want people to know it, so you called us liars, and now you think you can get away with it, and so now you're a little more comfortable stating what you actually believe. But we have noticed your true colors shining.
I see your true colors shining through.
Hiding through, whatever.
Liar! You're a liar!
Yes. Here is one person repeatedly saying the same thing in Turkish. Not in Turkish, actually. Tarek Arkan said, "Hi, Ridvan, did you watch Turkish Agnostic Diamond Tema versus Jihadist?" I haven't watched it. I am aware that there is a big controversy in Turkey right now. It was all over the media because this guy that I actually previously talked to and interacted with,
That guy,
no, not this guy. This guy looks like a weirdo.
he kind of looks a little. It's like his face looks like he's 15, and his hair looks like he's 45.
Yeah. So this guy here, he is an agnostic dude in Turkey. Is this the Islamist guy? What the hell? What is this?
Who's an agnostic nowadays? It's so like 1990s.
But the thing is, apparently they had a debate 8 days ago, and it has like 4 million views. And because of things that he said during this debate about Sharia and Islam, there has been an arrest warrant has been issued for him for offending Islam or offending people's religious beliefs or something like that.
Is this debate's in Turkish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I wouldn't
The
understand.
guy I think he left the country as soon as the thing was announced.
Smart.
But yeah, I don't know what's up with all of this. This is just Turkey. What do you expect? Garbage country.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage state.
Stick a fork in it.
Yeah. The thing is, I think this guy used to like me, but then when I started tweeting certain things in support of some separations inside Turkey, he then started shunning me and rejecting me fully. Because Turkish people are very nationalistic.
I like him more and more by the moment.
And you can't say things like Kurdish people should have their own right to do whatever they want. Anyway, so yeah. Nevertheless, despite our big differences, it's a disgrace that Turkey does things like these. I also have arrest warrants against me from Turkey, many of them, which is it's because it's a stupid country, a stupid state.
It's pretty dumb.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. That's what they do. But I'm not going to Turkey. I'm here.
You're hiding, boy. You're hiding.
Yeah, I'm hiding. Rebecca, who is 3 years old, said, "Oh, I thought Daniel got arrested for a moment." No, it's not Daniel. He didn't get arrested. He should get arrested for something, but he didn't get arrested
Come
yet.
on. We don't, like 5 years from now, he's got work to do.
Yeah. Good to see you here, Rebecca. You need to grow up, though. You've been 3 years for so long. It's ridiculous. So,
Your whole life.
Yeah.
Strong, though. He's super strong.
You want to have a look at this, David?
What?
You want to have a look at this, David? Have a look at this, David.
Hidden Cam, Queens College Platform's radical Islamist YouTuber on campus.
Alhamdulillah. There are some things that I want to look at regarding Daniel Haqiqatjou, including Kim Iverson had him on recently, and well, she's not getting views at all here. It's funny.
Now,
he said some really disgusting things to her.
Recap who she is. I recall her. I just recall her saying something really stupid on Twitter at some point. That's
what she usually does. She usually says very stupid things on Twitter. She is mainly active on Rumble, I think, and also now on Twitter. I'm not entirely sure where she is on the political spectrum. She seemed kind of slight left and then further right. And now with the whole Israel-Hamas war, she has been hardcore anti-Israel and going buddy-buddy with the whole neo-Nazi crowd a little bit while pretending not to be one of them. And is very, very much keen on spreading incredibly ridiculous misinformation on Twitter, is also following me and occasionally comments on my things. But I have invited her recently to a debate or to a discussion. Despite following me and obviously receiving the message, she hasn't responded so far, which is very disappointing. But yeah, so she's one of those people. And she had him on, and apparently he talked about how having sex with little children is cool and should be brought back. which is very based, and also about how slavery is not immoral.
No.
So
and keep in mind, there's some overlap there, right? So he talks about banging little kids and supporting slavery.
Yeah.
But you can also get the little slave toddler.
Yeah.
And he says there's no age restrictions on that sort of thing.
Yeah, he did indeed say that. And that's what makes it all better, because the younger they are, the better the points that you get as a reward for being a good Islamist or something like that. I don't know. I just made that up, but it sounds pretty good. So
yeah, why isn't she getting more views? She's got over 500,000 subscribers. Is this one of those channels that's falling apart?
Maybe, inshallah. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at what's happening here. I think this focuses at first on the whole anti-Jewish attitude, because that's the whole reason why he's invited to the university to speak. Let's see. Oh, no sound. Okay, now.
New York City. Queens College is part of the City University of New York system. Our undercover investigation has uncovered a deeply troubling issue: the promotion and implicit endorsement of anti-Semitic rhetoric on Queens College campus. The controversy begins with Daniel Haqiqatjou, a pro-Palestinian social media influencer who's been described by various sources as an anti-Semite.
It's I guess they kind of try to say it accurately in the Iranian way, and you will also hear him say it.
Yeah, he says it. So we've basically, according to him, been mispronouncing it all along, and he never corrected us. So I'm just rolling. I'm just going to keep rolling with Haqiqatjou.
Well, I know that it's pronounced like Haqiqatjou or something like that, with like a softened glottal thing that is not really like the Arabic, but you can hear him say it in a little bit. But I don't care. I just say Haqiqatjou.
According to Ronnie Ortega, a member of the Muslim MSA, it was this group that invited Haqiqatjou to speak at Queens College with the approval of the administration.
I don't know if you're aware, we brought a guest a couple of months back, like 2 months ago. It's not the most popular.
Was it Daniel?
Yeah. It's not the most popular.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Why'd you bring him? Did they not know who Daniel Haqiqatjou was when they brought him?
No. Look at it. Look. Let's see how it's pronounced.
I'm your host, Daniel Haqiqatjou.
Haqiqatjou has.
Haqiqatjou.
It's Haqiqatjou, or he'll kick a Jew. Those are the correct pronunciations.
That reminds me of this character from this old video game Tekken, whose name was Heihachi Mishima. That's interesting.
Who accused Israel of creating ISIS? Who accused Israel of creating ISIS and involvement in 9/11, Jews of pedophilia. Ain't this hilarious? The world's leading defender of pedophilia. Hey, did you know what's worst about the Jews? Pedophiles. Be like, wait, doesn't that mean you should love them?
No, I want to be the leader of pedophilia in the world, not them.
The Jews. They're gonna take all the little kids away from me.
That's the one thing I have, to be a prominent advocate of pedophilia. I don't want that to be taken away from me by the Jews.
Yeah,
How
next they'll be saying, and they support wife beating.
Yeah.
There's a well-documented history of promoting extremist views. A simple Google search reveals numerous articles highlighting these extreme views, such as defending rape in Muslim marriages and claiming that ISIS was created by Israel. Despite this, the Queens College administration approved him to speak on campus anyways.
That's not all, man. There's much more here.
What?
These are not the only things that he does. Like, he also does these things like this here.
Yeah. We want the whole story. Visa grad.
Puberty is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is it?
It means starting puberty unusually early, like beyond averages.
Is there anything in Islam that prevents you from, a man marrying a 5-year-old that started precocious puberty?
No, marriage can happen. You can arrange a marriage even as an infant, but that doesn't mean that sex is allowed.
Okay, could a man have a marriage to a 5-year-old consummated if she started precocious puberty?
If she starts showing signs of physical maturity, then yes, that's permissible, as I stated. That's
what about age 4?
If there are signs
3.
So this is something that becomes biologically impossible, because precocious
I have a
puberty,
study that shows it goes as early as 11 months.
All right. Well, that's something that the parents would not. The thing about Islamic marriage is that parents are involved at these ages. And when you look at the marriage of the Prophet, peace be upon him, to Aisha, her
Peace be upon him. Don't forget to say peace be upon him when Muhammad is mentioned, everybody.
Yeah,
parents
otherwise he'll
were
be
involved. And so
Yeah, otherwise he would be very sad. Yeah.
she was not living with the Prophet, peace be upon him, even though
Peace be upon him.
she was married to him. So the parents have oversight, and sometimes a qadi or a judge can have oversight if the guardians are not capable, to make sure that the rights and the physical well-being of a child are not, or a minor, are not harmed by that marriage.
What about, because you've tried to justify
I really like the fashion statement, though. It's like I know he doesn't usually focus on that aspect, but I like that he brings fashion to the table as well, aside from just the whole argument for pedophilia and slavery. Yeah.
What do you mean? His Predator laptop?
That too. That's true. I think that's also part of the set here. But I like his shoes and his socks.
Man in black.
sexual slavery.
Yeah.
Quit showing off your ankles to everybody, pervert.
Yeah. Hide your ankles.
Trying to tempt all the goats in the room.
Hide your ankles. How am I supposed to continue watching this and stay calm?
So what if a man finds a 7-year-old, let's say, started her period? Could he take her back as a sex slave?
So that's a whole different debate on slavery and concubinage.
I'm just talking about the minor aspect. Would that be fine?
Yeah, so if a girl is any age, she can be taken as
A sex slave, right?
Yeah, as opposed to being left to die after war.
So women can't take care of themselves. They would need to be taken by the men. Because
There you have it. This guy not only believes in marrying little children as soon as they show any sign of maturity, he also believes in taking girls, no matter what age, as sex slaves on the battlefield. Because it's better than letting them die.
Did you watch this entire debate?
Yes.
I was there, but I wasn't paying attention to everything because I was still getting my opening statement ready because I was still I was the next one up.
That's what I would do.
Or I was working on a rebuttal. One or the other. I had something to work on. So anyway, I didn't catch everything, but when Daniel says signs of maturity, is he talking about puberty? Because that's how IP obviously interprets him, when there's no requirement to be waiting for puberty. And given what some of the schools say, it's not about puberty in the according to the schools of jurisprudence. When you're talking about signs of maturity, it's basically, is the girl sturdy enough to support a man's weight on top of her without breaking her? So I'm just wondering, when Daniel is saying signs of maturity or something like this, and did he say at any point that he's talking about puberty? Because that would be weird, because 65.4 specifically says that puberty is not anything you're waiting for. Muhammad didn't wait for puberty with Aisha. Your average Muslim who's familiar with this stuff would have thought that Muhammad was waiting for something, and basically for her to be big enough that he wouldn't break her or rip her open, or we've talked about it before, making the 2 holes one. So in other words, unless Daniel said he was talking about puberty, I wouldn't suspect that he's talking about puberty at all. He would be thinking in terms of, if you're having sex with a girl and you're going to rip her open and give her a fistula and so on, then she's not mature enough. So you're looking for signs that she could actually have sex without being torn open or being broken or having her bones broken or something like that.
I think what Daniel Haqiqatjou said during the debate, and what he argued over, was as soon as you see any signs of anything that is part of puberty starting, then that would be a sign of maturity, which would mean that you can now have intercourse with this girl. I think that is the direction that he went into, as far as I remember. IP would probably have a better memory of what exactly that is about. He also wants to again in a few weeks, I think, respond to Daniel, because he recently lied once again about the
Oh,
whole
shocker. Daniel lying?
Yeah, which I didn't expect at all. But yeah, he lied, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure that is what he was going for, which makes him actually less traditional than the Islamic tradition generally is, which just says, if you're sure that she's not going to be broken forever, then you can go ahead and do it. This is Islam. Beautiful religion.
It would be interesting if Daniel Haqiqatjou is actually better, as disgusting as he is. It would be interesting if he's actually better than what his God and his prophet say.
Yep, that's beautiful.
And we'll recall Muhammad Hijab specifically saying, the verse 65:4 clearly refers to sex with girls before puberty. So he says puberty can't be a requirement. He said there's no way around that. He is absolutely correct.
Alhamdulillah. That's true.
Even more troubling is the presence of the Queen's College Dean of Students at this event, Dwayne D. Jones. His attendance suggests not only a passive tolerance, but an active endorsement of Haqiqatjou's hateful rhetoric. This involvement by a high-ranking college official underscores a much larger issue within Queen's College.
I think I remember you from one of the events that I went to with the speaker, Daniel Haqiqatjou.
Oh, okay. You're student here?
Yeah.
I was there, yes.
Are you affiliated with the MSI at all? Or?
No, I'm the dean of students here.
Oh, you're the dean? Okay.
So this guy is a dean of students, and apparently he didn't have a problem at all with the fact that Daniel Haqiqatjou arrived there and gave a speech there, and had a Q&A section there, and we will also hear in a little bit what the things that he said there. Apparently this guy had no problem with it either, and everything is just fine. Imagine if some, I don't know, some white nationalist, or we don't even have to go that far, right? Imagine if some religious Christian person came and started talking about some regular Christian beliefs, and propagated them without ever, calling for anything terrible. I mean, people would go crazy about that.
Mm-hmm. We can't ignore the fact, though, that this guy's pretty cool looking.
That's
He's
true.
He's got the cool beard thing going. He's got
That's
the sunglasses, not
That's
even
true.
all the way up on his head, like right above the eyes. So if he needs to, if some light blasts through the window, he could just go, sunglasses fall right in place.
Yeah, that's why I'm not being so harsh against this guy, because of the coolness, which just makes up for all of this, for all of the fault here. I mean, I would let this guy behead me.
Yeah, because you were just praising Daniel for his fashion.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're willing to let him slide on the child marriage.
Yeah.
Because he had some cool socks on.
yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Cool.
Racial superiority is one of the main, or a very significant teaching within the Jewish religious texts. Ben Shapiro tweets that Israelis build, but Arabs blow stuff up.
Do you acknowledge that there were killings by Hamas on October 7th?
Their plan is to take hostages as leverage so that they can gain some kind of semblance of a future and not be ethnically cleansed or genocided. There's mass rape against Israelis by the Palestinian terrorists. This was the claim. Mass rape. Reality? False. It's completely debunked as a hoax.
Completely debunked as a hoax. Here you have this guy going to this college, this university that is supposed to be a great place. Isn't it expensive to send your kids there? What is this? And he goes there and actually argues that there were no rapes on October 7. There were no mass rapes on October 7. There was no such thing. It was all just a hoax and has been debunked. Which is just horribly ridiculous. If he was to have a debate with somebody knowledgeable on this, if he had a debate with me on this, I would make him look the way he looked last time we had a debate together on the whole Israel-Hamas topic. It's you even have he will go to the UN documents and UN conclusions and UN envoys when they talk about certain things that Israel did, but when they actually conclude that there were mass rapes, that there was sexual assault, committed by Hamas and Palestinian groups on October 7, when the UN actually presents a report saying that this is clearly what happened, then they will be like, no, it's a hoax, has been debunked. Let's just ignore everything. It's completely debunked. No, not true. Never happened. Man. Perverts. Disgusting perverts. I don't know why there's somebody named the Muslim skeptic commenting here in the comment section. I don't think that is him. There were, and show me the proof they indeed happened. Is this him? Because I can't see if it's actually him. Go to channel. No, that's not him. Okay, it's fake. All right.
Debunked, and we'll get into the details of that.
I was there, yes. I'm the dean of students here.
Oh, you're the dean?
My question is, do you acknowledge that there were killings by Hamas on October 7?
The Palestinians decided that now is the time to act, now or never. We have to break out of this concentration camp, and we have to secure some kind of leverage, because we have zero leverage. They're being starved to death, so they break out. Their plan is to take hostage.
Wait, they were being starved to death before October 7th. That's what he's saying, right? They're being starved to death.
Yes.
The people of Gaza were starving to death. It's interesting because they're still not starving to death, even in the war. But back then, they were starving to death, and so they had to break out and take hostages in order to negotiate for not starving to death. That's guys. We've done a lot of shows with a lot of updates since that attack. Does that sound accurate, or does he sound like a compulsive liar?
Yeah, he's a liar. There was no such thing. There was no starvation, no famine, not even an indication of any of that before October 7. The first accusations, the first claims that there is a starvation or a famine going on, or that Gaza is on the brink of a famine, started as early as October 2023. So in the same month that the October 7 attack happened. Ever since, the narratives kept switching between starvation is imminent and starvation is happening. Famine is imminent. Famine is happening. We now have the report from the IPC, which actually went there and conducted the research. According to their research, there is serious concern in several places in Gaza, especially in the north, but there is no evidence to officially declare that there is a famine in Gaza. Imagine the first claims were made in October 2023. October 2023. Now, after the first official professional expert research in the field, the conclusion is there is a risk, but there is no evidence that there is a famine going on. That's it.
But there was before the attack.
Yeah, and this guy is claiming that there was one before the attack. That doesn't make any sense. They were being starved when nobody even claimed it.
They had to break out.
Which is why they had to take hostages to have leverage. What?
And so they had to do this to get their leverage. How's that working out, Daniel?
Yeah.
Was this a good plan?
Yeah. Definitely was a fantastic plan. Here is the New York Post saying there is no Gaza famine, so why is the pro-Hamas media silent about this? Great news. Here's the National Post reporting on the same thing, and here's actually the ICP report, which does say that famine is imminent and that there is a catastrophic insecurity, but the report concludes that there is no evidence that an actual famine has been taking place. So there's not enough evidence to conclude such a thing. But this guy is arguing that already before October 7 there was a famine. What the hell? Or starvation.
They were starving.
Yeah.
They were starving. They had to break out, and they're just looking for food.
Based. Yeah.
Stupid. Just looking for food and wanted to take a couple of hostages to negotiate for more food.
They just walked into Israel because they were looking for food, because they had nothing to eat, and then accidentally they killed a bunch of people and took others hostage. And yeah,
man. True colors, ladies and gentlemen. True colors. Anyone who will sit here and listen to this guy spout this nonsense, it's you are asking to be deceived, and you like deception. That's what it's. Just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge. We don't care about reality. We don't care what really happened. We're just going to say this, even though it's factually false. But that's what kind of people we are.
That's
good to know.
Good to know. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
I said it's what they do.
Well, that's what they do. Yeah.
take hostages as leverage so that they can gain some kind of semblance of a future and not be ethnically cleansed or genocided.
The criticisms that
Yeah, did you catch that?
it's all
They broke out, took a bunch of hostages so that they wouldn't be genocided.
Yeah.
What, AP? Correct me if I'm wrong, but hadn't Israel completely just pulled out of Gaza?
Yeah.
How are they being genocided? How are the people of Gaza being genocided?
They were not being genocided.
No. Daniel just said that the reason they had to break out was to gain some leverage to avoid being genocided.
Oh, well, that's true. Well, they were not being genocided.
They were starving and being genocided. I mean, now there are these misleading things like the population growth in Gaza, which goes like that, but don't let that distract you from the starvation and genocide that were going on, according to Daniel Haqiqatjou.
Massive genocide taking place, which was nowhere to be seen. There was no evidence of it, and what Hamas did, they actually just wanted to demonstrate that a genocide is taking place, and that if you believe that there is a genocide taking place, then you will see it, because believing is seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually what happened. You're just misjudging everything here. This reminds me of the UN report. If you look at it, it was actually as early as March that the UN first published a report from an envoy, from an independent envoy of experts that went there to Israel and spent quite a long. They spent like 2 weeks there or so to talk to all kinds of different people and to experts, to doctors, to interview witnesses and survivors themselves. They concluded there is reasonable grounds to believe conflict-related sexual violence occurred in Israel during 7 October attacks. And if we go into the details of it, I made a whole live stream on this, on their findings, and read much of what the report said. The report said that on October 7, in multiple locations, sexual violence and sexual abuse occurred against Israelis, and that also the hostages that were taken and brought to Gaza, many of them were also sexually abused or sexually assaulted, directly raped, and that they have very credible evidence that others still held in Gaza are undergoing sexual assault and sexual violence in different forms. These are conclusions by the UN envoy, which hasn't been very friendly to Israel over this whole war. And by their legal terms, yes, sexual violence has been happening on multiple occasions in masses. Then we have another report which recently came out, which was from on June 12th, which said that on October 7, Hamas committed multiple Hamas members and other Palestinian fighters committed many attacks on many cases of sexual violence and sexual abuse on October 7. Here is that whole document. Detailed findings on attacks carried out on and after October 7 in Israel. And you can find here many cases if you just look for this. The Commission's finding on sexual and gender-based violence are based on forensic analysis of verified digital content, as well as witness accounts obtained by the Commission and medical forensic reports in relation to the standard, and so on. Several indicators of sexual violence when making its findings, and so on. So the report here is clearly, the second report here clearly says that there are many verifiable cases of sexual violence and sexual abuse against Israelis committed by Hamas and other Palestinian individuals, including, by the way, not only militants, but also civilians. So Gazan civilians went into Israel and sexually assaulted or abused Israelis inside Israel. That was their conclusion as well. So it's not just Hamas, it's other organizations and also civilians. This is the entire problem. Let's see. I have another case which I think Daniel Haqiqatjou shared as well. Here's an instance from the document that I just showed, the last one. Look, here's something that they have shared immediately after this report came out on June the 12th, where they said the UN envoy or the UN report says that there is no evidence of sexual assault. Then they post this here, which says, the Commission did not find credible evidence, however, that militants received orders to commit sexual violence, and so it was unable to make conclusions on this issue. If you actually go into the document, you find the whole Article 95 here, which says, the Commission identified patterns indicative of sexual violence in several locations and concludes that Israeli women were disproportionately subjected to these crimes. The attack on 7 October enabled perpetrators to commit SGBV, sexual, what's that?
Gender-based violence?
Yeah, sexual gender-based violence. And this violence was not isolated but perpetrated in similar ways in several locations and by multiple Palestinian perpetrators. The Commission did not find credible evidence, however, that militants received orders to commit sexual violence. And so it was unable to make conclusions on this issue. So the sentence here, which they used in this one, only says that they couldn't find that they received direct orders to do these things. They did find, however, multiple instances of them carrying out such attacks. However, inflammatory language and disbelief around sexual violence observed with both parties risks silencing and discrediting survivors, further exacerbating trauma and stigmatization. Fantastic, right? This is, ironically, this very same article is pointing out that people who deny that sexual assault is taking place are making the case worse. And these propagandists actually cut that part out to then argue that there was no sexual assault.
Yeah, that ranks right up there with Hijab citing an article saying how many Hamas commanders had been killed and then saying that it's a 100-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
There's this ongoing issue of completely misrepresenting what a source says because stupid people will fall for it and go, oh, look, there are words up there. So if there are words up there, then that must make it true.
Oh, the words. Why else would there be words up there? Why else are there words? I posted this before, which directly explicitly says that civilians participated. Look at this. Deliberate targeting by Hamas. The Commission further noted that in relation to the attack of October 7 in Israel, members of the military wing of Hamas and other Palestinian armed groups, as well as Palestinian civilians who were directly participating in the hostilities, deliberately killed, injured, mistreated, took hostages, and committed sexual and gender-based violence against civilians, including Israeli citizens and foreign nationals. It says here further, the Commission also identified patterns indicative of sexual violence on several occasions and concluded that Israeli women were disproportionately subjected to these crimes, and so on. So this is all documented. And this guy actually sits there at Queen's College and says, oh, that's all a hoax, has been debunked. Disgusting. Pat's Leatherstrap said, great, Daniel hanging around schools again.
Actually, when I saw hidden cam, Daniel Haqiqatjou, I'm like, oh no. They brought a hidden cam into the daycare that Daniel runs or whatever, and what do they find there?
The Daniel Haqiqatjou daycare. These people are too old for Daniel Haqiqatjou. It's a college. It's way too old.
Yeah, he's in there going, hey, shout out to all the grandmas here in the room, but anyone got any granddaughters you'd like to introduce me to? I got an open spot for a fourth wife.
Look at this. Mr. Ideos Mio said, what's your name, Ridwan? What is this ridiculous photo? David the Wingeling says, you guys made us wait today because David was on GoTub. Yeah, that's actually what happened. Brigham Young PBUH said, David, Mike Winger is coming for you as soon as he finishes with Benny Hinn. Will expose your Islamotrophia. Yeah, that's true. What's going to happen.
Well, considering he'll never be finished making videos about Benny Hinn, since every video is like 17 hours.
Who's Benny Hinn?
Benny Hinn?
Yeah.
He's one of those faith healer type guys but like the one who waves his hand over the audience and like people fall over and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool. I always like that stuff. Takes a good amount of acting. Pat Leatherstrap said that dude looks like a mashed up Konstantin Kissin. Who? Which one? Which dude?
Yeah, we don't know when that came from.
I don't know. Where did you come from? Vyati Vistu says, according to the Hadith, Muhammad's real name was Kutham ibn Abdallah, which when charitably translated becomes slave of Allah. Really explains most contempt for his own culture tribe. Do you know about this theory, which I vaguely heard here and there, David?
No.
Do you know anything about this?
I know the people who are arguing for this and so on, but I don't know enough about the theory.
See, David is ignorant. I don't know much about it either to comment on it. So that's that. Celeria Sings said, hope that you guys don't mind me hijacking a stream to say pretty much my whole family got hit with the stomach bug and I'm asking for prayers.
Oh,
that's based. Stomach bugs are cool, though. So, but I wish you all the best, if that helps. Monkey Mike said, Ike from South Park have been 3 years old since 1998. So I think Rebecca is doing fine. Yeah, Rebecca is based. 3 years old. Signs of maturity says that Shake It Off video you played the other day with Daniel Haqiqatjou is the best expose on Islam I have seen to date. The very end summary is David Wood spec. That can't be right because I made the best videos as the best expose on Islam, so that can't be accurate. But I believe you. Dove Blackfeld pronounced Haqiqatjou it's all in his name. Yeah, it's actually Daniel Haqiqatjou. Daniel Haqiqatjou. That's what his name is. And finally, if a non-Muslim said the same thing as Daniel Haqiqatjou, they'd be getting investigated by the FBI. Yeah. I do think that the FBI is onto Daniel Haqiqatjou, though, because he was crying about that recently when he was trying to arrange a debate with me. He was like, they're sending the FBI on me, so I have to be careful what I say.
It's all show.
Yeah.
That's how it is, though.
Yeah.
None of these guys are going to ever say something like blatantly, like dumb.
You spoke of 50% of young adults declining to affirm the belief the Holocaust happened, and 20% believing the Holocaust was a myth. It's either you do believe it exists, and therefore it should be part of the truth-telling that you talk about, or you believe either part of it is untrue or all of it's untrue, and you should say it.
The statistics about the percentage of the younger generations who have questions about the Holocaust narrative, that's just reporting facts. And when I say reporting facts, like that's what surveys show. Surveys show that more and more people are questioning this narrative.
I affirm everything that is legally required of me to affirm of the Holocaust. That's it. I believe that 6 million Jews were murdered by Hitler in the Holocaust. If someone says that 5,999,999 Jews were killed in the Holocaust, I consider them a Holocaust denier.
He's parodying the Holocaust position, or the Holocaust denial accusation position, by making this ridiculous, stupid scenario where if you say that only 5,999,999 Jews were killed, then you are a Holocaust denier. You have to say 6 million. This is. I mean, a parody is good when it makes sense and when there's at least a little bit of accuracy to it. The actual idea of the Holocaust victims and how many Jews were killed is not that it is precisely 6 million. The idea there is that it is somewhere very close to 6 million. So it could be slightly less than 6 million, but it's around there. So the number that people go for as a result of all the evidence is 6 million. Nobody says, "Oh, there's 6 million. You can't say there's less. You can't say there's fewer than that." This is just so stupid. Such a pathetic attempt at humor. Such a pathetically stupid attempt at satire. Typical. And the thing is, think about this. If a regular, white nationalist guy, neo-Nazi guy, was invited to this campus and went there and talked about and started mocking the Holocaust narrative, imagine how the entire nation would react to that.
Mm-hmm.
People would go crazy about it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be all over the news. It would be the latest thing everyone is talking about.
Yeah, imagine if it was a Republican.
Whoa. Everyone would be talking about it.
Who got up there and said exactly what Daniel was saying. It would be international news.
Yeah.
All the way through the election.
We would all be talking about it. And Donald Trump would be asked to condemn it and say something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet this guy goes there. It's recorded. Nobody cares. Nobody says anything. These guys can spread their poison anywhere, and it's fine.
And I think they should be punished to the full extent of the law. That's what I believe. So I don't know how else I can make it more clear.
We also find these bizarre accounts of atrocities that are claimed Jews have suffered historically. And the question is, it's when you have a religion or a culture that tells you to hate others, it's usually not enough to inspire hate. If you just tell your children, oh, hate.
David, Daniel Haqiqatjou is arguing here that Judaism teaches people to hate others.
I mean, it's so that ranks right up there with him earlier saying, and the Jews are pedophiles. Dude, you're the leading defender of pedophilia on the planet. There are 8 billion people. No one defends pedophilia more than Daniel Haqiqatjou. And here, hey, their religion tells them to hate. Really? Where? Because I can show you where your religion teaches you to hate, Daniel, very, very clearly.
So the Quran says that the disbelievers, the Jews and Christians, are the worst of creatures, that those who don't believe are the worst of creatures. The Quran says that Allah dislikes, that He does not like, He hates the disbelievers. He hates those who disbelieve. It says that that the Muslims are supposed to love what Allah loves and hate what Allah hates. They're supposed to fight the Christians and Jews, supposed to fight the polytheists, that they are wicked and that Allah condemns them and will fight them. That is directly 9:29 and Quran chapter 9:29 and 9:30, my favorite part of the Quran. Describes the Jews as evildoers who are always out there to try and trick and mock Allah and distinguish and extinguish His light, not distinguish, and so on. And Daniel Haqiqatjou is very well aware of a sentiment, of a saying among Muslims, especially among traditionalist Muslims, which is that I'm trying to remember how it goes, but about hating the disbelievers and loving the believers, and about how Muslims are one nation and the disbelievers are all one nation. What is that concept? For some reason, I haven't thought about it for quite a long time. Love what Allah loves and hate what Allah hates. Do you know what I'm talking about, David?
No, it's completely new information to me.
Sure it is. Definitely is. Definitely is. Al-wala wal-bara, I think that's it. Yeah, is a concept that is loyalty and disloyalty, based on which Muslims are supposed to love whatever Allah loves and hate whatever Allah hates. And if Allah hates the disbelievers, as the Quran says, then Muslims are supposed to do that as well. Is that right, David? Do you agree?
No.
It's wrong. So here, Quran chapter 3, verse 32 says, for example, Allah say, obey Allah and the messenger, but if they turn away, then indeed Allah does not like the disbelievers. Allah does not love the disbelievers. Allah loves not the disbelievers. and so on. This is one of those ideas upon which they have this whole concept called al-wala wal-bara, which means loyalty and disavowal, where they're supposed to love what Allah loves and hate what Allah hates. I learned this as well as a young Muslimling, based upon which I was supposed to love those whom Allah loves and dislike or hate what Allah hates. This is a very popular concept in Salafi Islam, which Daniel Haqiqatjou loves as well.
This group of people, it's usually not enough to inspire hate. You usually will have to put some kind of frame on that to say that, well, these people committed atrocities against us. These people in the past committed all kinds of atrocities, and we have to hate them in return. We have to hate them and take out our revenge in return. Now, it's not sufficient just to assert that other groups should be hated. There needs to be a reason for the hate. And Judaism teaches Jews that non-Jews have viciously persecuted and slaughtered Jews for no reason throughout history. Jews are commanded to remember these evil historical deeds done by non-Jews, and they are regularly.
David, Jews apparently learn and teach that certain non-Jews have persecuted them and mistreated them over the years. It seems very, very strange. Why would Jews learn such a thing?
Yeah, I mean, based on what he was saying there, it sounds like he's claiming that their religion commands them to hate, but in order to justify that, they have to kind of exaggerate and make up all these stories about how they were persecuted just for being Jews.
Yeah.
And so they make up all this stuff.
Like what kind of stuff? Like, I mean, I never heard that Jews have been persecuted in the past by other people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who would ever think that? Interesting.
Commemorate this through Jewish holidays like Purim and Hanukkah.
Did you show up to the event? Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was there too, yeah. And he said nothing out of pocket.
No.
He was extremely open-minded and soft-spoken in the way he was going about it.
So, what is the point of my talk in a nutshell? It's often claimed by Zionists that what causes Palestinians to quote-unquote hate the Jews or to hate Israel is because of Islam. Islam is a hateful religion. Islam advocates violence. Islam advocates terrorism. All of this kind of propaganda. What if we turn the table?
This is so funny because Israelis don't actually ever claim it. Like I have rarely heard Zionists and Israelis claim that the hate is because of Islam. On the contrary, they often don't claim that. And I actually expressed several times when I was in Israel and also afterward that they should be saying that, because that is a primary reason why they hate Jews and why they hate Israel. So,
yeah, it's us saying that this has something to do with religion and that Islam causes this. And Daniel, if you'd like references, we can give you endless piles of them from your sources calling for the violent subjugation and eventual extermination of Jews, and thus you guys being obsessed with not taking a loss to the Jews and preferring to remain in an endless cycle of violence, because you'd rather do that than just take a loss. So, I mean, if your book calls Jews and Christians the worst of creatures, if your book says that Jews are the most vehement in hostility towards the believers, and your prophet calls for the extermination of Jews, how in the name of common sense can you say that the claim that this hatred of Jews has something to do with Islam? How can you say with a straight face that that's just propaganda? You know it's not propaganda. You know it comes right from your sources. You know it. But you know you're talking to a bunch of idiots too.
Yeah.
So you can say what you want.
By the way, this report, you can find this report here on Visegrad 24, which has a growing YouTube channel. Aside from there, on X, on Twitter, they have 1 million followers now, and are increasingly sharing news and also tackling the whole Islamism and Islam stuff. Would always recommend following them. Also because they conducted one of the best interviews with me ever, where I was walking through Jerusalem, through the Muslim quarter, and then one with David where they were sitting in Tel Aviv at a very nice location. So very, very nice channel.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to walk through the Muslim quarter talking. So I was like, hey, maybe in Tel Aviv by the ocean, I'll feel safer.
Yeah, David was scared. I was like, was scared. I don't even know what it means.
No, actually, I recorded mine first, and I insisted on being by the ocean in case I needed to run, and I would have the ocean that could flee. And AP was like, "You coward! Let me show you how it's done." And I'll go to the Muslim quarter, and he was just rolled up in there like he owned the place.
Yeah. It was kind of weird because I was, I actually didn't think that there would be any danger that anyone would actually do or say anything. But you did see when we were doing the interview, as we were walking through the Muslim quarter of Jerusalem, and I loudly say things like that Islam is violent and Islam is the cause for many of these things, and many of us proudly leave Islam and so on. I would see occasionally people walking by and looking at us in a very strange way, like, what is going on? What are these people doing? But nobody attacked us, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, terrible.
For at least one talk at a university. What does the Jewish religion teach? What do we find within Jewish texts? What do we find advocated within the main scriptures of the Jewish religion? So, racial superiority is one of the main, or a very significant teaching within the Jewish religious texts.
Judaism doesn't teach that Jews are racially superior. It doesn't. And we actually went through that, right? I also had two religious Jews on here to specifically analyze that and respond to that.
Well, that's also in the Torah. God says, I'm not picking you because you're better or greater than the other nations. I'm doing this because of my promise, the promise to Abraham and so on. And he says, if you do the same things that these other groups did, I will treat you in exactly the same way I treated them. What's that mean? It means it's about what they're doing and not about their race. If it was just their race, then you'd say, oh, okay, well, I punished that race, but you're this special race that won't be punished for any of these things. But he specifically tells them, I'm not picking you here because you're somehow greater or something like that.
This is so stupid. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, when you read the Bible, you repeatedly see this warning, which is also, by the way, extensively dealt with in the Talmud when providing the commentary. This whole idea that God tells the Israelites, the Jewish people, if you don't follow the law properly, then you will be punished, and I will test you, and I will do this and this and that to you, and you will go through really tough times and all that. Does that really look like these people can do whatever they want because they are chosen as racially superior people? No, it clearly looks like how they fare in the world is conditional upon how they act. They are explicitly told that in the Bible. Yet this guy comes here and acts like, no, Jews believe that they are racially superior and they're the only good ones because of their race. Nobody believes that, man.
And what's funny is this is a guy who believes that his group are the best of peoples ever raised up for mankind, and that other groups, including the Jews, are the worst of creatures.
Yes.
So they're all inferior creatures. And he's here saying, oh, the Jews think they're superior. This guy's nuts, man. It's become like a pathetic joke. But it just sucks because there's a lot of people who don't understand that it's a pathetic joke.
I mean, this is just so stupid. Here's the Quran. Quran chapter 98 verse 6 and Quran chapter 8 verse 55. 98 verse 6 says, indeed, they who disbelieved among the people of the scripture and the polytheists, so the Jews and Christians and the polytheists, will be in the fire of hell, abiding eternally therein. Those are the worst of creatures. So anyone of these who rejects Islam and thereby becomes a disbeliever is counted as the worst of creatures. The worst of creatures. And it then says, indeed, they who have believed and done righteous deeds, those are the best of creatures. The Quran literally describes the disbelievers as worst of creatures and Muslims as the best of creatures. Yet here is Daniel Haqiqatjou projecting and making it look like it is Judaism that teaches such a thing. It further says in 855, indeed the worst of living creatures in the sight of Allah are those who have disbelieved and they will not ever believe. This is Islam. It's not Judaism. Man. This is just so stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic.
Pretty stupid. I should have some quotes handy here, what to bring up in response to this kind of stuff, which we might get into at some other time. Where Jews actually talk directly with the sources about the whole idea of chosen people to Jewish people. And you can see that it's nothing like what Daniel Haqiqatjou talks of it as.
Ben Shapiro tweets that Israelis build, but Arabs blow stuff up and live in their own sewage. When he tweets that to the world, he has no shame. Like, what makes him even think in such a racial way, in such a racist way, to denigrate Arabs, 500 million people in the entire world, as being just violent, irrational terrorists who blow things up and live in sewage like rats? The other claim Hamas has...
Pretty sure he made that tweet a long time ago, like over 10 years ago, and within the context of the conflict, so referring to those Arabs on the other side of the fence, not to Arabs in general. And also, by the way, is something that he said was a dumb tweet and apologized for later on. That's what he goes for. Meanwhile, he talks trash about Jews all the time, and even argues that that Jews build underground child trafficking and sex trafficking tunnels, and things like that in New York.
The Jews are the ones who are big on tunnels.
Man.
Weaponize sexual assault and engage in mass rape. There's mass rape against Israelis by the Palestinian terrorists. This was the claim. Mass rape. Reality? False. It's completely debunked as a hoax. Completely debunked, and we'll get into the details of that. So the entire...
Yeah, we already addressed that. He says that this is a hoax. It's not. It is totally not a hoax. And if he had a debate on this issue with anybody who actually knows their stuff, he would look ridiculous.
And then similarly, there's these accusations that are made against Palestinians, but the truth is that the IDF has been raping, Israel has been raping not only other IDF soldiers, but also Palestinians.
Wasn't the dean of students at the event too?
Yeah, he was like, he was like, cool with it.
Exactly. So like, why is this guy? I guess the dean of it.
There was an overwhelming response that was positive.
The way that the United States has tried to pressure states to obey international law, quote unquote.
Think about this. This guy is not here to just talk about how bad Israel is. He's here to talk about Israel, and also specifically about Jews. About Jews. What does Israel have to do with all of the things that he says about the Holocaust and all the other things he talked about? He's talking about Jews and how Jews are, and how Jewish beliefs are. He specifically went there for this. I mean, would others be invited to talk like this about Muslims? Would this just fly very nicely?
So, kind of putting together what his thoughts are. The Jews are told by their religion that they are racially superior to everyone else, and they have to hate everyone else. But it's not enough to just say, okay, we're commanded to hate everyone else. They have to justify it. And so they make up all these stories about how they've been persecuted in order to justify hating non-Jews. And because of their hatred of non-Jews, they have been starving the Palestinians. Long before October 7th, they were starving the Palestinians. It was an ethnic cleansing. Even though the population was booming, it was an ethnic cleansing and a genocide. And these poor people of Gaza had to kind of break out of there and take a few hostages just to get some leverage so that they can get some food. And that's what we just saw, according to one of the people who was there, was very well received.
Yep. And the dean was also there, had no problem with it. So that's how it goes. That's what they do. That's what they do. Here is a very interesting article, by the way. Look at this. I read this a while ago, I think, on Chabad, and this is a this is a source that is for Jews by Jews. It is one of those pages that is orthodox in most of the responders, I think, which doesn't care at all about what anyone thinks, but presents things as they are to Jews themselves. Here's a questioner saying, "I have long been uncomfortable with the concept of the chosen people. To suggest that as Jews we are somehow closer to God than all other nations smacks of arrogance, elitism, and racial prejudice. How is that any different to anti-Semitism?" Then this article, in response to a Jew asking this question and saying this feels like arrogance, gives a response. It's a fantastic question, and so on. You will now see clearly from an Orthodox source what they actually think, what they actually teach to other Jews. All agree that it was the Jews that introduced the world to monotheism, system of ethics. It is the survival of Judaism to this day that it has to the eternal value of the system. Here, to say that this is ethnocentric is absurd for one simple reason. Anyone from any ethnic background can convert to Judaism and become chosen. Jewish chosenness is not a gene. It is a state of the soul. Anyone wishing to take it upon themselves is welcome, as long as they are ready to have their bubble burst. So Daniel was just telling us that Jews believe that they are racially superior, and they're racially superior and chosen, and by blood they are better than everybody else. However, here you have the Orthodox approach from Jews who are directly saying, no, that's not at all the case. Anyone can become Jewish. Further, it says, the arrogant person is not acting chosen. The true test of chosenness is how humble you are. You have passed this test with flying colors. Your humility is so deep it doesn't allow you to accept that you are chosen, while most other religious groups are quite comfortable claiming that they are the best. We Jews will do anything to say that we are nothing special. This is the attitude. Does it sound anything like what Daniel Haqiqatjou just said? No. Does it sound anything like these what these gropers online always say about Jews? No.
It's applied selectively. They have different methods. They have a carrot and a stick. The carrot is you offer money, you bribe officials, you offer IMF loans, and that way you try to get foreign countries to obey the law, basically, or obey your will, or to follow your interests. That's the carrot. The stick is you put sanctions, you get the UN involved for a coalition to invade, you get NATO to involved to bomb. This is how the US has kept the entire world in submission for decades now, for over a century, you could even say.
This is so funny. Only as a Muslim apologist would you be so full of crap and so ignorant and incompetent, and then get invited to actually speak to people at a college,
and then be whining about they require submission. Your religion is literally named submission. Everything you complain about is exactly what your religion does. Everything you say about Jews, everything you say about the US, everything this man complains about is what his religion is the supreme example of in history.
Yeah.
One day, and they realize that Israel's plan is not just to wipe out Palestinians. They have other regional interests when it comes to the Golan Heights, for example, when it comes to the Sinai Peninsula, when it comes to other areas of the Middle East.
They want the entire world. The goal is to subjugate the world. In fact, if you look into the Talmud, it says that the end will not come until you hunt the Muslims. And the Muslims are hiding behind rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees are crying out, "Hey, Jews, there's Muslims hiding behind these trees. Come kill them." You see, this is what their sources teach.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's what he sounds like to me. Every word he says that he's complaining about is exactly what he believes.
You know what's funny about this? He just said that Israel doesn't just want to wipe out the Palestinians. They also have different regional interests, like the Golan Heights.
Didn't they take that stuff?
Like They already did take the Golan Heights and even annexed it. So I don't know what he's talking about. Secondly, in 1967, Israel took the entire Sinai Peninsula,
which they could take now in an hour if they wanted.
Yes, and you know what Israel did with the Sinai Peninsula?
I'll take give it back for 500,
yes.
Alex.
Yes, they specifically applied a long-known Israeli policy, which is land for peace. We will give you the Sinai Peninsula back, have it all, but we want recognition and mutual assurance of peace. That's it. So Israel already had it. And if they're so careless and callous as Daniel Haqiqatjou and others claim they are, they would have kept it. They gave it back for peace.
And they could have just kept it. Hey, you guys started a war. We took this, and we're keeping it. You are now our subjects. Could have done it. They didn't want it. And yet somehow Daniel said, you see, this is what they want. Yeah. They want all this stuff that they had and were justified in taking and gave it back. That's the stuff they're really after. So keep your eyes on those Jews.
Aside from that, they also have Gaza since then, which they also offered to give once again back to Egypt so that they can autonomously control Gaza and lift the burden and responsibility from Israel. Egypt didn't want this. Egypt didn't accept this. It has been part of multiple negotiations, of peace negotiations. Egypt didn't want this. So Egypt preferred that Gaza actually stays under Israeli control rather than controlling it themselves. But apparently, according to Daniel, Israel has this will to just expand and eradicate and wipe out the Palestinians and so on. In fact, let's not be stupid, okay? When the modern state of Israel was declared in 1948, what they did was to acknowledge internally and externally, explicitly, nationally and internationally, they explicitly acknowledged that in the land around Israel, which is given to the Arabs by the United Nations, there will probably be a separate, independent Arab state, and they will have to recognize that and live with that. That's what the founders of the modern state of Israel acknowledged when they founded the state of Israel. Had the Palestinian Arabs just agreed to create their own state and not wage war against Israel, Israel would have no reason at all to go to war and to fight them. However, those Arabs, those local Arabs, began a civil war and then involved all the other surrounding Arab nations in a war against Israel with the aim of wiping out Israel, which is why the conflict has been ongoing since then. Had they never done anything, had they never shown any kind of hostility, Israel would have no reason at all to wage war and would then indeed be the aggressor and possibly the oppressor if eventually a war started from their side. So you attack Israel and give them a reason to then fight with you, and then you're like, they want to oppress us, they want to exterminate all of us. Dude, what am I talking to? Who am I talking to?
Middle East, if there needs to be a military intervention, then inshallah that will happen. That's what we want. That's, to make it very clear, that's what we want.
In the wake of Daniel Haqiqatjou's speech, anti-Semitic tensions have been building on campus, with protesters.
Oh, well, it looks like there were it initially looked like there were lots of people there. There's not that many people there. So,
well, it's just the MSA, man. It didn't look like a bunch of the usual suspects, the Antifa types. You got a couple of them in the background there, maybe, but it looked like mostly the MSA was showing up.
Yeah. It's kind of disappointing. I was expecting more than just the terrorists to turn up.
Hey, you know what would have been the funniest thing ever? I mean, ever. Because they're doing Q&A. Gets to the Q&A. Hand goes up in the back. Yes, Mr. Haqiqatjou. Could you explain how the eyes are, in fact, the leather strap of the anus one more time? Saw you breaking that down. saw you breaking that down in your debate with AP. Could you expand upon that a little more so everyone here gets it?
I just want to watch
That'd
it.
have been legend status.
I just want to watch it now because it was a funny moment. He actually tried.
Hey, we're debating Islam.
Let's see, where was that?
He pulled it up.
He actually started explaining it. It was fun. It was hilarious. Let's see, transcript here. Let's search for.
Just look up leather. Leather strap.
It's so funny. He actually went into explaining that.
Oh, let me break down this important issue. Poor James.
Punishment fits the crime. Yeah.
Harold Balder says, Brother Daniel, what's your view on this verse? The messenger of Allah said, the eyes are the leather strap of the anus. So one who sleeps should perform ablution. I don't know what that means.
You have the same reaction, but in mirror.
203, book 1, Hadith 203.
Yeah, this is like a ridiculous translation. The idea is that
it's not ridiculous.
When you
ridiculous
sleep,
translation.
There is a chance that you pass wind, and when you pass wind, you have to do your ritual ablution before you pray. So this is about
dual laughing
not
APs.
a ridiculous thing. When you sleep, you are likely to pass wind, and therefore you have to redo your ablution before prayer. Like
you have to redo your voodoo.
He wants.
I'm really trying to keep it together there.
To make a big deal about this.
I'm not making a big deal about it.
No.
How are you going to poke at someone for laughing at something like this? You're sitting here defending the eyes or the leather strap of the anus, and how dare you laugh? How dare you laugh? That's very disrespectful.
Look, he's going to reveal something now. Look at that.
But you have nothing to say when you're presented with the Talmud.
I'm glad you're watching our live streams,
non-Jews.
Wait,
but you have nothing about. Yeah, you are making. You're laughing. You have videos with David laughing about this. But you have nothing to say when you're presented with the Talmud.
So he knows that we have that we react to this thing, and we actually.
He watches our stuff.
The eyes.
Hi, Daniel. Hi. We know you're watching.
Hello, Daniel.
What's up? Hey. Next time we see it, just ask, and we'll go ahead and sign some autographs for you.
Yeah,
since you watch us, since you love watching our show.
You can also comment with your actual account, not use a fake account. I know sometimes you're here using fake accounts, using second accounts. You just comment with your actual name. We already know you're watching. You admitted it right here, so that's.
I'm glad you're watching our live streams. Non-Jews are not human. You have nothing to say about that, but you have.
Man, this guy's
a gold mine. The dollar guys are gold mines.
He actually thought he has to explain the eyes of the leather strap of the anus.
In the wake of Daniel Haqiqatjou's speech, anti-Semitic tensions have been building on campus, with protesters harassing and hurling insults at Jewish students.
Look at all these very nice people here. They're probably all there because they're interested in somebody speaking. They look like they're well put together, civilized, regular people who just want to be functioning members of society in the West. That's it. Yeah.
Hey, look, there's Sneeko in the upper right corner in his Islamic gear.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah,
and we're back here. Like seriously, guys. All these guys getting in this room with the world's leading defender of child marriage. To be lied to the entire time. Oh, the Jews just believe that they're the true religion. It needs to dominate the entire world in the name of Allah. I mean, Yahweh. So yeah, that's what they're doing. So let's hate them. Let's hate them because they spread hate against it. But like how would it not sink in? I don't care. I don't care how dumb these guys are. Like, how does it not start to sink in how pathetic this is, right? Gaza just had the crap kicked out of it. And Gaza started it. Hamas started that and got the crap beat out of them. And you guys run around. If we just have another 487 marches on college campuses, that's going to change. And not one thing has changed anything. You are completely powerless. You are completely impotent. Your religion is completely useless for getting what you want out of this situation. How does that not sink in? How?
Alhamdulillah.
You're weak. You're weak.
To be fair, these people don't look like they're actually listening. So, yeah, I don't know.
There's an IDF soldier here. It says he's right there. This guy? Like the guy next to him over here.
He wears IDF apparel. What a loser. Where's the IDF shirt? Did it start smelling bad? That's all you wore for like months. Did you clean it? Oh my god, what a loser, bro. You're an absolute loser.
What a weird thing to say, considering that Hamas lives in sewers.
Yeah, and it's you have to wonder whoever she's talking to. She said all you wore was your IDF shirt for months. But what kind of super base dude was sitting there wearing an IDF shirt for months there?
Yeah. Weird attitude, man.
Additionally, disturbing graffiti has appeared on bathroom walls with messages like, "To my fellow Israelis, I am coming after you. Signed Hitler too." And "You better start hiding Jews, LOL. Queens College President Frank Wu has stated publicly, "Let me be clear, anti-Semitism has absolutely no place on the Queens College campus."
Except that you just invite and let this guy speak about how Jews are evil and all that.
That's what they did.
That's what they do.
That's what they did there.
If that is true, then why would the administration allow a speaker like Haqiqatjou, known for his anti-Semitic rhetoric, to speak on campus? Additionally, why has the administration remained silent about the anti-Semitic nature of Haqiqatjou's speech? And why are they allowing even more events that harbor these ideas in its way?
They should invite him back to talk about child marriage.
Yeah. Hey, AP.
Yes.
If Queens College, the entire administration, invited Daniel Haqiqatjou back to lay out his best defense of child marriage, would we have a problem with it?
No.
No, we support it, Queens College.
I welcome it.
In fact, we'll let you slide on what happened right here. We'll totally let you slide. Just let him come back and give his presentation defending child marriage.
Yes. Queens College, I will officially forgive you for this here if you invite him back and let him talk about child marriage and let him present his best case for child marriage. This way, I will officially forgive you and you will officially get away with this. Alhamdulillah.
Arguing that Sharia law is superior to human rights because Sharia rule can sometimes be justified, then slavery can also sometimes be justified. The better world, one with the constant threat of nukes and constant terrorizing of the world's poor people with trillion-dollar weapons program, necessary. And really, that's enough practice today. Now, let me get to the point about sex slavery. Yes, taking sex slaves was not only morally justified, it was morally necessary. And really, that's enough for the argument, but it's worth noting that the Sharia's rules on concubines and slaves in general are the most humane out of any other civilization. Islam explicitly gives slaves many rights. They can't be mutilated, they can't be killed, they can't...
Any other civilization?
Wow. You know what? It's actually historically known that one of the civilizations that the Muslims themselves fought in the beginning during their expansion, namely the Iranian civilization, the Iranian kingdom or empire, the Zoroastrians, they did not view slavery favorably at all. Not at all. This is historically known. So compared to the Muslims who were totally fine with having an influx of slaves through war, the Zoroastrian Iranians thought slavery, we don't want that. We don't want that. If you get slaves, if you bring them in here, fine, okay, but it's not really, we don't really want this in our society. So the ways to actually obtain slaves were very limited, and slavery was generally not welcomed. And there was really an effort made to get rid of slavery and to give them freedom. However, they did still go with the times, considering that much of the world was okay with slavery. But Islam came and destroyed the Iranian Empire and brought slavery into Iran and made it the norm. And but hey, Islam is cool with slaves being treated well. Therefore, it's not a problem. Man. That's what they do. That's what they do.
I kind
of want to look at this as well, but I don't know if we have time for that. What do you think, David? Let's take some super chats. Matt Silva said, Daniel Haqiqatjou, police be upon him, needs to clean his image. Something like a would do the trick. What, shower? Would do the trick and stop defending pedophilia. Also, cowboy, goat, something. I can see the signs here. Alhamdulillah. I agree with
cowboy, shaking hands, goat, Islam.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. David Kazuma, the dragon of apologetics, said, David Wood, what do I say to Muslims who, seemingly incapable of understanding argumentation, often end up having to try to explain to Muslims that they are straw-manning arguments respond to an unrelated one? There's a big cultural gap and problem here at play. But David, what would you say?
Well, if you spot that they're straw-manning you, then you point it out and don't let them move on from there. And it's going to depend on the situation. Like if I were at Speaker's Corner and I said, hey, quit straw manning, and someone said, no, I'm going to straw man you anyway. Then I would say, okay, well, I'm going to start yelling at the top of my lungs that your prophet's a pedophile until you stop. But you might not want to do that depending on the situation. Yeah, sometimes you just have to slow down, write it out on paper. Here's what I said. Here's what you just said that I said. And then you can always draw it back to a moral position, because it's kind of it's an honor shame society. So if something falls back on their religion as shameful, in other words, if you say, hey, here's what I actually said, and here's what you attacked me for, which is something I didn't say. Is this common in your religion? Does your religion promote this sort of thing? Like promote completely misrepresenting people? Because it does, right? The Jews call Ezra the son of Allah. The Islam is built upon foundations of false accusations against other groups to justify attacking them.
Yes.
And so it's just built into the mentality. Even if they're not thinking through it, it's built into their mentality. It's okay to completely misrepresent other people. So draw attention to that and hope that the Muslim you're talking to is actually better than his religion and is able to spot it.
Hey, Daniel Haqiqatjou always reminds me of this here. Remember this when he said, "Isn't it hilarious that the number one thing that trad cons are citing to justify their diehard support for Israel genociding Palestine is one 5-second clip of some rave prostitute? Plenty of footage of traditional families, modest Palestinian women, mosques, churches being kidnapped. They are even kidnapping churches. Like, how is that happening? I don't know. Yeah. But
yeah,
they
snuck in there and they're like, they kidnapped the church and held it for ransom. They said, hey, you're gonna give us 20 gallons of Gentile blood for us to get drunk on. If you want this church back.
Yeah, that's what they do. They kidnap churches. But this guy actually referred to a brutally killed and paraded dead body of Shani Luke, one of the civilians killed on October 7, as a rave prostitute. This is how he talks about people, about dead people, about Jews, dead Israelis. This is the guy we're talking about. What a bastard. Cars in Depth said average age of first period in US girls is 11.9 years. Well, this is only according to Zionist statistics created by the Jews to destroy Islam. So,
and all the averages and so on, it's all irrelevant. The Quran doesn't require any of that. Aisha hadn't reached puberty. The Quran doesn't require that a girl reaches puberty. So yeah, guys, the issue of a girl reaching puberty is irrelevant to the discussion about Muhammad and Aisha and about Surah 65 verse 4.
That's based. That's pretty based. Hey, did you see this thing recently? Oh yeah, you did see that, right? I don't know if we talked about it, but these two idiots. These two idiots posing with this girl.
And then everyone declares war on her as soon as she leaves.
Yeah, they're posing with her and and smiling with her when she clearly insults Islam. Very, very nice people, very smart people. Alhamdulillah. Mr. Dios Mio says, remind us, what does degenerate called Johnny Luke? Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, you already did.
Rave prostitute. A random Ox said, is AP drunk on Christian blood again? Yes, all the time. Oh, I just can't stop, man. I'm kind of addicted, I think.
I guess we know what Candace Owens' favorite super chat of the day would be.
Definitely. It would be that. It would definitely be that. Paolo Lungaro said Daily Wire is Frosted Flakes and Mike Winger is the generic brand. Frosted Flakes. That's funny. Do you actually like Frosted Flakes, David?
For a while, when I was a kid, it was probably my favorite cereal. Not so much anymore, but they're great.
I don't think so. Justin said, I was there too, and you lied to me, David. Haqiqatjou was talking about puberty.
I asked if he was talking about puberty. He said he didn't remember.
Why are you stuttering?
I'm pointing out that Islam doesn't require anyone to reach puberty. And so I was wondering, when he talks about signs of maturity, if he's talking about puberty. If so, he's going against his own sources.
Hey, look at what the aspiring Hitler guy said recently. No, I'm not sure if you've seen that. These are the guys that the Islamists are aligning themselves with. And he, of course, also pointed out that they have no hate or anything. It's just about Zionism and how bad it is. Look at this.
When it comes to the Jews, here's the silver lining. It tends to go from 0 to 60. Like, they're not wrong about that. But there's a reason for that. And the reason is them, okay? When it comes to the Jews, every society where shit has gone down with these people, it always goes from 0 to 60. I would say that the Jews had better start being nice to people like us, because what comes out of this is going to be a lot uglier and a lot worse for them than anything that's being said on this show or has been said on this show.
Now, the thing is, I would react with more concern and I would feel more like sinister and dark about this if it wasn't this stupid weasel.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. It's like I'm sitting here, I'm actually sitting here thinking, like, is this guy, does he actually believe, like, is he delusional that he thinks he's some threat to Jews? That him and his bunch of freaking dorks, bunch of losers on Twitter spending all day whining about Jews? I mean, there are legitimate threats to Jews in the world. This freaking dork isn't among them. Right? Like, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's bad. It's not good for Jews, but the idea, they better start being nice to me or they're going to get what's coming. What planet do you live on, dude? And you wonder, like, okay, so these are the guys who think that there's this massive Jewish conspiracy behind everyone, and Mossad is going around just assassinating people left and right, and he thinks he can be sitting here mouthing off to them. What's that mean? It means you don't think someone's about to come through the door and assassinate you for criticizing the Jews. So do you really believe in your own insane conspiracy theories? And do you really believe that the Jews are sitting here going, oh no, Nick Fuentes. Wouldn't they just assassinate you, according to you? If they actually considered you the slightest bit of a threat?
Yeah, this is
freaking dork, man.
And if there's one point to be made, it is that, I don't know, there's nothing actually. But just by presenting this, by talking like this, he is actually probably amusing Jews. You know, he's probably making them feel he's probably making Jews laugh, and that's good. Maybe this is a conspiracy by the Jews. Maybe this is a Jewish psyop to plant this guy as the #1 Jew hater to make Jews overall happier by making them laugh because of this ridiculous attitude. Maybe this is this is a Jewish conspiracy after all. I don't know.
Got Pee Wee Herman here going full neo-Nazi.
Man, you better be nice to us, yeah. Sankey said AP would be invited to Queen's College too if he was an expert on anything. Say what you want about Daniel, but he's the foremost minority sex expert today. Yeah, this is true. he's a big expert on minority sex. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Bo, rather, only Princeton students were starving.
Yeah, their hunger strike.
And they concluded their hunger strike because it didn't work out. Ayatollah Khamenei said, "Did you guys hear the IDF raided Ambutukam's tomb?" Oh yeah, I heard. It went very well. Apparently, it went very, very well. I still don't know what that means. Is that a made-up word or do something?
No, that's the second time I've seen it, so it's a real word.
What the hell is that? Some dumb meme that I don't want to look at further. I don't know. Cars in depth. If only DH's father had pulled out, just like when Israel pulled out of Gaza. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, I agree as well. Yeah. Milton Martinez, Daniel Haqiqatjou, the real fat Pikachu. Justin, David would come in, look me dead in the eye, and said, if anyone came in and looked me dead in the eye and said, if anyone asks, there is not a bomb in this suitcase, it's just books. Then he proceeded to decimate poor Kenny with his just books. It was very sad. Did this happen? Is this based on a real story?
That's Justin, who says he was there at the debate. I don't know if that's something that actually happened. That sounds like something I would say. And I did bring in a suitcase. I brought all the Muslim sources there, and I was actually pulling them out as we were debating. So I did bring a big stack of Islamic books in a suitcase. So story checks out as far as stuff I can fact check right now.
It sounds like South Park to me. Ayatollah Khamenei said, Muslim Man is my new Pokemon style card game, and to get the Haqiqatjou to evolve into Nikechu, you have to have a prepubescent trainer rub his beard. What's wrong with you? Paulo Lugaro, Israel needs to go after Qatar. Qatar. Rusty Sawblade, they don't do grapes, just murder, so it's fine. Yeah, well, yeah. Ayatollah Khamenei, Palestinians are starving. Meanwhile, the Palestinians walking around Gaza rubble are the size of the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's what
they do. Like, you remember all those pictures when they like round up a bunch of these guys and they're sitting there in their underwear and they're all like 400 pounds?
Yeah, there was recently
these are the starving guys.
New footage of these supposed Palestinians being oppressed and being stripped naked and kept there, and they were also terrorists under suspicion held there, and they were quite large in size. They were quite large. What in the world is this? Somebody wearing a Hezbollah shirt, I think. Let me see. What's this? It's so funny seeing pictures like these in the West. It's probably some, I don't know who this is. Guy wearing a Hezbollah shirt right here on the subway. Pretty stupid. Pretty stupid. Maybe go and join the Hezbollah and then get bombed to bits. Mumu Joe said, we all saw the fed Palestinians when they had to leave north of Gaza, starving my ass. If they wanted more food, they should build less tunnels. But they need tunnels to attack and kill Israelis. So they have their priorities. So you have to give them free food. Israel has to give them free food because they have to spend all their resources on building tunnels and firing rockets at Israel. I mean, don't be cruel. Don't be ridiculous. This is the way things are. Give them what they need. Give them the food for free. Deliver it to their door, and then run away because the rockets will come. Hey, Ellie, what's up? Said, love you both. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very much. Always appreciate it. Alhamdulillah Shawarma said, APM David Wood, will you take with humor if I make a few out of context video of your streams? All hail the Shawarma. Yes, I will.
Well, it depends. It depends on whether it's actually funny.
Yeah. It has to be offensive and funny. Otherwise, I will not accept it. Carson Depth, Raul Hilberg, the leading historian of the Holocaust, said the figure was closer to 1.5 million. Does it really matter if it was 5 million or 6 million?
5.1. You said 1.5.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. You freaking Holocaust denier. You see this, ladies and gentlemen? AP tries to dial it all the way back. Daniel's like, oh, I can't say that it's like one person less, and AP dials it back by 5 million.
Pretty sure I didn't say that. Did I actually?
You just
say
said 1.5 million.
No, I didn't. I didn't say it. If everyone in the chat says that I said it, then I will believe it. But
yeah, because there's no possible way to verify what you said.
There is no way. We can't go back and check that. I don't think that's possible, ever. So did I say 1.5? Because I don't think so.
That's exactly
no. No. White Lily said, I couldn't find my glasses, and I was talking to myself, saying the Jews are playing hide and seek with my glasses, as we know they do. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what the Jews always do. God bless you both, said Faris. Thank you so much. Daniel Haqiqatjou loves you. Next, Daniel gonna dress as Farfur for students. Yes, when he goes to his daycare. You did say 5.1 million, said JC9. Huh. You said it. 5.1 million. AP, Swifty, Winnie the Pooh says 5.1 million. See, they all say I said 5.1 million. You're lying. Deborah said you said 5.1. Clifford, you said 5.1 million. See? I was right. I was right in not believing you. Hey, what's Mike doing here? Inspiring philosophy. Let's see. Inspiring philosophy.
Inspire everyone.
Said, hey nerds, we'll review that video in depth on my channel on July 2nd. I've been tracking down Daniel's sources that he used on Kim Iverson's channel. I found some hilarious results.
Wait a minute. You don't mean Daniel quoting sources and completely misrepresenting them, do you? Because that's never happened before. Except every single time he quotes a source.
That doesn't sound plausible to me. Mm-mm. And why is he looking at her? Look at this.
Yeah. Lower your gaze, Daniel.
Lower your gaze. What's wrong with you, man? You make me sick.
Daniel's sitting here free mixing it up.
You're sick.
Yeah. IP is going to respond to this whole thing on July 2nd on his channel. We are going to do that together. It's going to be cool. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's going to be very, very good. You said 9-year-old girl. Really? Huh. I thought I said 5.1 million. I don't know. Mumu Joe said Muslims using the word peace with Muhammad is hilarious. If 30,000 killed in Gaza after they started the war, hold hostages upset you, 3 million killed because of their religion should upset you as well. Well, but when they do it, it's just. So that's the point. If people are killed as a result of Islamic expansion and Islamic wars, and if people are killed for blasphemy and apostasy, and because their civilizations don't convert to Islam, as a result of which a war is declared and they are all massacred, then that is justice. That's right. But if you push some Muslim for some reason, that's genocide. That's how it is. You have to accept that as a truth. Paulo Longaro, why didn't Allah tell its followers to jump off a bridge? Because that's only what Muhammad Hijab does. Mike's Viking Fitness says, if she was 9 years old, guy criticizes both Islam and Judaism because he's Christian or atheist and not anti-Semitic, does he keep his cool points? No. Because he doesn't criticize Judaism. This is always if I was sitting here, right? If I was sitting here and say, oh, all I'm doing is criticizing Islam. And my criticism of Islam actually consisted not of analyzing and talking about Islamic text and Islamic scripture and Islamic history and this and that, but talking about how there is a big Muslim conspiracy and to destroy us all, and the Muslims secretly control the world and the banks and the politics, and they even hide little monsters under your bed to catch you, and they then do child trafficking and this. If I did dumb stuff like that, that wouldn't be criticizing Islam.
Yeah. In other words, we didn't just hear that he criticizes certain points of Judaism from a Christian perspective. It's that I mean, he came on here and he instantly started going, oh, but the Talmud. Yeah, so just to be clear, you could be critical of Judaism from a Christian perspective and not be an anti-Semite. Yeah. If he were she was 9 years old guy, and he was criticizing Judaism accurately or arguing that Jesus is the Messiah or something like that, I wouldn't have had a problem. I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But that's not what he was arguing.
Yeah, if you're gonna criticize texts properly, that's fine. Most of these people say, "Oh, I'm just criticizing Judaism," like you criticize Islam, and what they do is basically just regurgitate
memes,
supposed Talmud quotes, which they saw on blurred memes on 4chan and other platforms, and then make accusations about how the Jews are behind everything that's going wrong, and Jews are behind mass migration because they want to destroy white people and want Islam to take everything over and all that, which is just so stupid. It's so stupid, so ridiculously stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Monkey Mike said, "Thanks for the recommendation." Also, as soon as we rejected him, I think he went on some channel and said that said about David and me that we are that we are pro-Jew propagandists who are paid by Israel or something like that, which is, of course, a very nice way to make peace with us and to be reasonable with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Long story short, no cool points. Guy has no cool points left.
Yeah.
He got a bunch, then he lost them all.
Alhamdulillah. Thanks for the recommendations on Daily Wire stream of which Quran I should get if I want to read up on it. No, the critical Quran, the deception of Allah and Son of Hamas are on the way. That's based. That's very, very based. That's very good. Son of Hamas is a fantastic book. Definitely. Moo Joe. Okay, I will say Judaism and Christianity is superior to Islam, and he's proved that Islam creates inferior humans. Fact. You can't say this, man. Be careful. How dare you? You make me sick.
That is.
You're sick. You're sick.
Very disrespectful.
Yeah, very disrespectful. White Lily said, "I like that Allah hates me. It makes me feel fuzzy inside and brings me great joy." I understand it entirely. It's a very nice feeling. It is a very nice feeling. I that's actually the one thing that makes me happy nowadays. Yeah.
You just wonder why he's such a little weakling. He hates so many people and can never get anything done.
Well, Islamoprobe said, "Let's have a contest. Which is the worst book ever? Quran, Das Kapital, Mein Kampf? You decide."
Quran.
I read all three of these books. No joke.
AP admits he read Hitler's Mein Kampf.
I read all three of these books. I must say, as bad as it might sound, the only book here that is actually good, despite its horrible theories, is Das Kapital, because it is actually written in a way that makes it understandable and coherent. You can actually read it as a book, although it has a ridiculously non-functioning theory on economics and society. Mein Kampf is a ridiculously stupid book. A really stupid book. It's like a crazy person rambling at the cafe about, and the Jews do this and this and that, and if we just do this and this, and if we just do this and this and that, then everything will be fantastic, and we just have to get rid of the Jews. And it's so stupid. But I must say, in terms of writing, the Quran is the worst here.
By far.
So I'm serious. The Quran is definitely the worst here. And also, by the way, the Quran is more anti-Semitic, I would say, actually. In a way, yeah. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Stop animal cruelty. Have you watched a channel called Other Barak? No. Sounds like fake made-up name. I don't believe that such a channel exists. Let's see.
Now, if it was the other Barak in the sense of the Muhammad's flying donkey monster, then I would watch that.
Oh, that's funny. I'm actually subscribed to that channel, but I haven't watched. Yeah, yeah. Look, other Barak. It says I'm subscribed. I probably did that recently.
Hey, isn't this funny? Look at this. Look at this dude. Did he say that? Did he say that nonsense? Europe will be completely Muslim. Your kids will be Muslim. Hey, dude. Remember what he says when he's talking to when he's trying to promote dawah and telling Muslims that they need to rally around him. He says, your child's going to become an apostate. Your child's going to become an apostate. He's warning them all. Hey, we're sitting here arguing amongst ourselves and look at the apostasy rates going through the roof. Your children are going to become apostates.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he goes to the Muslims and, hey, your children are going to become apostates. You need to support me, support the dawah. But then he goes to non-Muslims. Ha-ha! Your children are going to become Muslims. That's right. You see, we're strong. This is what we always see from the guys. But behind the scenes, they're panicking. But then they thump their chest. Yes, we're going to conquer you. We're going to subjugate you. Bunch of dorks, man.
Yeah. Look at this. This guy clearly looks like, this guy's Jewish Israeli, as it seems. Clearly looks like a typical white colonizer. Look at all the blonde hair and all of this thing. They claim to be native to the land, but looks totally like a white colonizer. Look at this. Yes, terrible.
Shows you the violent endgame of Western Arabs.
Right? Those empires around you, or those hukumat around you, which are Jew or Christian, until they give the jizya. That's fine. That we already know Islam allows. And then the howness of that is in the hadith. The three options that they're given. Either you give the jizya, or you do this, or you do that. We're not apologetic about that point. That's that.
What does it say, David?
What?
Either you give the jizya, or you do this, or you do that. What other choices do they have aside from giving the jizya? The non-Muslims.
You convert or die.
Oh yeah, well, no big issue then. Yeah.
Yeah. Convert, pay the jizya, or die. The same thing we've heard from Sheikh Asim al-Hakim. But when he said, when you have the three, I thought he was about to say 3 stages of jihad or something like that. I was like, oh, this is going to be a good clip. But no, he went with the 3 options.
Yeah, yeah.
Say not 3.
It's kind of weird how they want to extract the jizya from all the non-Muslims.
Yeah, they want to extract the jizya, and they keep saying 3.
Yeah.
When the book says don't say 3. Anyway,
yeah.
Everything's got to be in 3s. It's all 3s.
They say 3, and they want to forcibly extract the jizya from the non-Muslims, which is terrible. Terrible.
I don't know how we haven't made a video called how Muhammad Hijab wants to forcibly extract jizya from non-Muslims. Muhammad Hijab says he wants to forcibly extract jizya from Jews.
Oh, that'd be good.
Dude, there's nothing in that title that would be any problems for the algorithm. So just got to do it, man.
You will all give us your jizya. If you don't do it willingly, we will
just
forcibly extract the jizya.
Muhammad Hijab admits we want to forcibly extract jizya from Jews.
Man.
An expansionist element. So then, therefore, there is no situation or conceivability of peace being made between Muslims and non-Muslims. Islam is a warrior religion in many ways, and it's unapologetically so. It's about
warriors in our tunnels,
conquest, and so on.
Muhammad is telling everyone here that.
Hey, quick question. It's about conquest. How's that conquest been working out for you lately?
Well,
like where is Islam conquesting anything right now?
The time will come when Allah will once again favor the Muslims. You just wait. You just wait and hope and pray for it. And it will happen one day.
If we just see, we haven't been molesting enough little girls. If we just do it, then Allah will see our faithfulness and He'll bless us to conquer the world again.
Yes. That channel looks interesting, though. I'll check that out.
This comment is dope, by the way.
Nose Too Much said Peruchu is more slippery than Aisha's garments after Muhammad wore them while having a revelation from Allah. This is good. This is a good combination. Knows Too Much comes up with some really good super chats here. Appreciate it. Especially since they come in shekels, I think that makes it just better.
Oh man, well, I guess the guys are there, they could still do it, but Speaker's Corner, when Mansour would run or these other guys would run or refuse to have a conversation, how did we not go into like full Muhammad hijab mode and be like, look at him, he's being more slippery than just roll with it. Hey, Dan Shu.
The lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop.
You mean that?
Yeah. Hey, Dan Shu, come to Rochdale, Rotherham, and tell those girls you debunked them. I dare you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Because he's talking about the October 7th. And no, Muslims don't do this stuff.
Alex Mahanaru said, can ex-Muslims standing up against genocide in Gaza? Definitely. I can definitely stand up against the genocide, but not in Gaza. Just in the region in general. The genocide did take place on October 7, and I have been standing up against it for the entire time, for more than half a year by now. Definitely, I am completely and fully against the genocide that was committed on October 7 by Hamas, and I hope that that Israel will go full force and forever permanently finish Hamas and make it impossible for them to ever even attempt such a thing. Hope that answers your question. Ayatollah Khamenei said, we have a jihadist named Tenebris Sind in the chat pretending to be Jewish and failing miserably. Could just block them. LSD1 said, I'm a scientist, but I'm so lost in life. I just started reading the Bible, and while I know it's not scientific, I felt peace. It's just faith. Could be. You could just be amazed by it. I sometimes read the Bible and feel quite nicely inside. Right, David?
1 second.
Nose Too Much said, David, have you considered the
You said block Tenebris. I like blocking people, so I immediately went and blocked him.
Nose Too Much said, David, have you considered Dihya al-Kalbi in the Boom Boom Room? Did you guys know there's a shrine to Dihya al-Kalbi located in Israel? What? Really? What? Dihya al-Kalbi.
It's probably a gay bar.
Traditional burial place of Dihya Kalbi in Eddahi, Israel. What? What the hell? Is this real? What in tarnation? That is.
Hey, look at this. Hey, it's funny. So I just went to the Wikipedia article to look up shrine and stuff like that, but it says it in the second paragraph. According to Muhammad's wife Aisha, he saw Jibril twice in the form that he was created, and on other occasions as a man resembling Dihya ibn Khalifa al-Kalbi, an extraordinarily handsome disciple of Muhammad. So. Muhammad, who's that walking out of your room? Oh, that's just the angel Gabriel. He looked exactly like Dihya al-Kalbi. Oh, yes, you know, that's exactly what the angel Gabriel looks like. Oh, Aisha, could you come scrape all these semen stains off my back?
I don't know where that came from. I think I got overexcited with all the revelations.
Powerful revelations. Talking about banging little kids. So
I'm really excited. I think it was actually the angel Jibril who dropped these things on my dress. I don't really know what it is. It's probably something from Jannah. Can you please just scrub it off?
He skated his revelations all over me. That's crazy. Like, if anyone were like just checking out this live stream and didn't know that as disgusting as what we're saying is, it's like straight from their sources.
Yeah. And Jibril came and he this time he didn't tell me to read. He choked me and he forcibly extracted the jizya. It says traditional burial place of Dihya al-Kalbi in Adahi, Israel, Palestine. According to Aisha, it says the same thing here. The Prophet's wife, he saw Jibril twice in the shape that he was created, and on other occasions as a man resembling Dihya al-Khalifa al-Kalbi, an extraordinarily handsome disciple of Muhammad. That is ridiculous. It looks like trash, though. What is this, man? It looks like garbage.
Now, where is this, though? It says hill in northern Israel.
I'm gonna find it for you. I'm gonna pinpoint.
We could actually go.
I'm gonna. We should go there.
Yeah, make a whole video about.
Look, it's right here.
Mama's long lost lover.
It's right here. Hey, it's close to Nazareth. It's right here.
Oh man, we could hit up Nazareth and make a video about Dihya along the way.
Yeah.
And then go show it to all the Muslims in Nazareth. They're going to love that video.
That would be funny. It's right here. Interesting stuff. Had no idea. I had no idea. Lucky I didn't go to Queen's College. I was there. If I was there right now, I would show them what the leather straps of the anus means. Momos are so trash. It's very disrespectful. Alhamdulillah. Very nice. Mary Mac, Texas for your t-shirt, Dave. About time. Oh, thanks for your t-shirt, Dave, not Texas. About time you put Teespring on X. Yes. Yes, David. About time you do that.
Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to come up with multiple designs. ISO Elohim is. I come up with the dope ideas and she makes it happen because I don't know how to actually make something cool like that. Hey, check this out. So here's another hadith. I was informed that Gabriel came to the Prophet while Salama was with him. Gabriel started talking to the Prophet. Then the Prophet asked Salama, "Who is this?" She replied, "He's Dihya al-Kalbi." When Gabriel had left, Salama said, "By Allah, I did not take him for anybody other than Dihya, till I heard the sermon of the Prophet wherein he informed about the news of Gabriel." So Muhammad didn't even correct her there. He's like, "Hey, who did you just see leaving?" She's like, "Oh, that's Dihya." And later on, he's giving a sermon. "Oh yes, so the angel Gabriel visited me," and she's like, "Oh, that was Gabriel." Are you kidding me?
That sounds pretty gay.
This dude is, wow, he's something.
Yeah. It wasn't Gabriel, but it was pretty gay. Shaheen Wahman Zadigan said, Islam is just like the evil sayings in the Prince of Persia series. When someone gets in contact with it, they become zombie-like creatures. Really? It's funny. I never even ever played a single game of that series. That's very cool. When will Haqiqatjou learn morbidly obese, stupid, and evil is no way to go through life? This is very disrespectful. I will hereby ban Ayatollah Khamenei from this chat. PC said Islam is not peaceful. How dare you? This is also very disrespectful and Islamophobic. Ayatollah Khamenei said, we know what happens if you fart during prayer. What happens if you shart? Similar things.
Then you're just good. Then you're fine.
Bible Man said, AP, you can't defeat God. You'll only defeat yourself in the process. David to the Bible mobile. Huh. That's based. Bible Man. Bible Man. This is superhero Bible Man. Joshua Wooden, Robert Spencer, extremist, Daniel, defender of Hamas and child marriage, welcome. Tell us how Israel and Western democracy are. This makes no sense. Well, that's... Robert Spencer is an extremist because he talks about the extreme things that Islamic extremists talk about that makes you an extremist by definition. Right, David?
Yes. Yeah, the only way to avoid being an extremist is to just shut your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't talk about things that people do. And you know what's funny? I had a dream last night. It's so
Welcome
weird.
to AP's Dream Journal show, everyone.
I had a dream last night that I was the Pope. I don't know why that happens, but I guess I took a higher dose of melatonin than I usually do, and I think I had a gap of not taking melatonin for a day, and then I took one, which is like this extended release form, and melatonin has this effect of giving me very strange and very elaborate and very funny dreams. However, in my dream, apparently for some reason, I was elected to be the next Pope, and for some reason, I had this new Pope outfit that was like all red, and I also had this red hat.
That's
And,
called Santa Claus.
No, it was the Pope outfit. And you know what's funny about it is, in my dream, it's like, wow, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I became the Pope. I don't know how this worked out. But in this dream, I'm on the first day of going to the Vatican as the Pope. I'm walking and I'm trying to find my way through Google Maps. Like, am I even going the right way? And I'm late. I'm running late, and I'm thinking, oh, no, man. People will say,
this new Pope sucks.
Well, they will say he's even late to his first day as the Pope. Like, because I'm always late to things.
They're going to say, you see, this is why you never have a Turkish Pope.
It was so weird.
We thought that his stay in Germany would have made him punctual, but the Turkish genes just completely overcame his German upbringing.
I don't know why I had such a weird dream, but yeah, I kind of was dreaming of being the new Pope, and that I'm late to the Vatican.
People are pointing out it's funny that you're late even in your dreams. Like,
I know, and that was
you're late in real life, and then even in your dream.
In the dream, like within the dream itself, I was thinking, man, people will say he's even late to this. That's messed up. Like, I was actually thinking that in my dream.
Worst Pope ever.
Man.
An agnostic, Turkish, compulsively late Pope.
So weird. Who dreams of being the Pope? Ayatollah Khamenei said, dude, don't go after Nick Fuentes. He's been practicing semen retention for 15 years straight. Bro is powerful. Oh, well, I didn't know that. That explains everything.
Especially in his other life as Dylan Mulvaney. That's when he puts his wig on.
Yeah. Suddenly the Alaskan said Nick looks like Daniel's type, like a child. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, can you imagine that conversation? Hello, Nick. This is Daniel Haqiqatjou. Love your work on Jews. Say, would you like to be one of my Baka Bazi freaks?
That's beast. Ansett Lee, I still can't believe the stupidity of some of my fellow citizens to believe in some Jews are taking over the world. Jews bad conspiracy, while Palestinians are literally cheering for China to annex my country. Can you find the awkwardness here? What country are you from? NT dollar. Is that Taiwan? Yes, new Taiwan dollars. Oh, I didn't even know that the Taiwanese currency is dollars. I had no idea. I hope you forgive me for this.
You don't even know about currencies and you want to be Pope? Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I resign hereby from my position as a Pope. Yeah. People in Taiwan actually have an opinion on this conflict and actually do think about that. That's funny. Ayatollah Khamenei said, in all seriousness, never look up Ambatukam. I will never look it up again. Never again. Justin, it's true. That was the lie I was referring to. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know what it is about, but yes. Haqiqatjou is the
Justin
case.
was the one who said he was at the debate.
No, he wasn't. AP is our Pope, said Clementine. This is true. This is true. Alhamdulillah. Taiwan based. No, you. Pope, apostate, prophet would be Candace Owens' religious leader. Hey, this is a good point.
You could take over.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's why. Jews taking over the world. It's funny. This reminds me of this one sci-fi experimental show that was on Netflix, where there was an episode where the yogurt is taking over the world. It was an interesting satire where apparently some piece of yogurt, some scientific project goes wrong, and they give a little cup of yogurt intelligence, and it becomes sentient, and then it starts taking over the world by being very hyper rational and being detached from all the problems of the world and finding the right solutions to it. You could do the same thing with Jews taking over the world and make it a parody of the idea that Jews are controlling the world. See? Fantastic idea. Alhamdulillah. Or Dro said they were hungry before 10/7 for jihad, border wall, Iron Dome, deny basic human rights of exploding on buses, UN human rights. I mean, they have a point. If you deny people the right to blow themselves up, if you deny people the right to blow up buses, if you deny people the right to stab border guards, if you deny people the right to go into civilian homes in Israel and to murder and rape people, this is literally genocide. It is oppression and free Palestine. Yeah. Nod said, hello, AP. Could you please give a shout out to Natsuki Takayama, a Japanese YouTuber trying her best to spread the lies of Islam? You shouldn't be spreading lies.
Yeah, we don't want to spread lies.
Yeah, I don't want to spread lies. Shame on whoever spreads lies. Who? Natsuki Takayama.
Natsuki Takayama.
What? Mixed views about Muslims leaving Islam. Interesting. I don't know. I don't buy it. Jamburn says, I wonder how Muslims would react if I participated in a pro-Israel rally waving a placard proclaiming Muhammad was a Jew. Not that any other religion would be proud of that, given his behavior. Yeah.
Don't say Jew, say Zionist.
Yeah, Muhammad was a Zionist.
Muhammad was a Zionist.
We're proud of that.
Yeah, and we're proud of that. Knows too much said, yeah, don't ruin Judaism, but claim that he was a Zionist. That's good. Knows too much said Peduchu projection. That's what they do. When's the Discord channel starting? Tomorrow. Monkey Mike said, you are paid by the Jews. I am part of the Scandinavian branch of Mossad. Oh, that's nice.
Well, send us our shekels then.
Truth is out there. Jamburn, the issue is that Muslims are great at proclaiming that most people are Muslims, including Jesus. So why can't other religions claim that Muhammad is Jewish, Christian, etc.? Muhammad was originally actually a Christian. However, Muslims distorted his message and changed it and created this new religion called Islam by changing the Quran and attributing false narrations to Muhammad. But he was actually a Christian who just wanted people to believe in Christianity.
Yeah, what was my video there called? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jan, check out my video, Why I Now Believe in Muhammad, where I argue that. I say Muhammad was a devout Christian, and everything was corrupted later by later Muslims who covered up his true beliefs as a devout Trinitarian Christian. And so there's no way to respond, because they've already granted the methodology that you could just say, oh, so and so was a Muslim. Well, what about all the evidence that shows that so and so wasn't a Muslim? Oh, that's all been corrupted. Okay, well, anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. You could say Muhammad is anything you want, and that all the evidence to the contrary is because of corruption.
Muhammad is anything you want. Anything you want to be. Ayatollah Khamenei had a hard day. My wife at doors left me and ran off with my favorite goat. Then I farted so loud during Salah that I made my one hole into two. This is very tragic.
You should write a book.
Yeah, I should write a book about it and call it What Happened. That's what Hillary Clinton did. Yeah. Jan Burns said, the reality is that most other religions are way too ashamed of Muhammad to want to claim him as one of theirs.
Yeah, no one actually wants him.
But if that did happen, it would be great to see the reaction of Muslims. Muhammad was actually a Scientologist. And they just want to deny it because they don't want to believe the truth. They don't want to accept the truth.
It would be funny because it's just a standard thing in Dawah. So you set up your Dawah booth, and what sign do you put up? Jesus was a Muslim. That's the sign you have to put up. So it'd be funny to show up to the Dawah booths with shirts that say Muhammad is a Zionist.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that Muhammad was a Scientologist. Scientologists. That's better. It also makes more sense. And it's probably truer to the close. Ansett Lee said he'll extract jizya by giving these kuffari. What? No. I can't make jokes like this. Ayatollah Khamenei, I heard Mohammed Hijab got caught in Tel Aviv trying to extract jizya during the Pride Parade. Oh, really? Oh, that's why he's not. That's why he's not posting videos. That's why he's been gone. Yeah. Tim Peterson, as Muslim numbers fall, hijab demands jizya. Apologetics of Jesus said, I have some Muslim friends. Would it be okay to tell them that the Quran contradicts history on the Kaaba? Abraham never went, etc.
Yeah, of course.
It would be against the law, possibly, to tell them that.
You remember you went on that Muslim live stream and challenged him about that, and he was like, oh, but the Bible says that David went and hid somewhere, so where else would he have hid?
You see?
Must have been Mecca. You actually pulled up the map and you said the route that David must have run, hiding from Saul to go all the way down in the middle of the Arabian desert.
That was funny.
That was funny.
Good times. Well, some good times. Good times. So when we talked about the Kaaba, talked about the big Kaaba. Let me see. Muhammad destroyed Kaaba. Yeah, I have a video on this whole topic, which is called "The Kaaba and the Bible Debunked," but even a more thorough video upon further demand by Muslims, which is called "The Complete Refutation of Mecca in the Bible." And ridiculous. It says ridiculous. So that video I would always recommend to view. Which is, I think, is totally underrated here. It's called the Complete Refutation of Mecca in the Bible, Valley of Baca and Desert of Paran, where in this video, this is mainly a response.
Looking like you're 12 years old, man.
I am 12 years old.
Looking like Nick Fuentes.
This is this is mainly a response video to the idea that the Kaaba is found in the Bible, but it also generally addresses the whole issue that the Kaaba not being found in Christian and Jewish history is actually a big problem to Islam, because Islam claims to be Abrahamic, from the tradition of Abraham, and it claims that Abraham went through there and built the Kaaba and all that, but it's clearly not true. Clearly not true. And this is very important. This actually goes very close to debunking Islam altogether. You see, that's the truth. Lloyd444 said, Daniel, I hate the Jews is becoming more like his prophet Muhammad each day. Stains be upon him. Yeah, that's what they do. Stains not be upon him, though. It's kind of bad. Celeria said, Muhammad wants to force the extract jizya from the Jews.
Maybe we should start saying semen stains be upon him, since it's actually from the sources. Muhammad Hijab wants to forcibly extract jizya from the Jews. David Wood suggests unable to avoid giggling, and he jokes about AP's dirty mind. Don't you have a stomach virus to attend to, Solaria?
That's a good point. This is a good point. Yeah. God Hub Music said, even though we're the kafir, we get all of hijab's jizya. Use code HIKMABABY one more time for 50% off. There you have that. There you have it. Another God Hub campaign. Just in time. Ayatollah Khamenei, I have Palestinians extra jizya in the Dihya Kalbi after dark. Yeah, really? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Monkey Mike said, here's the proof. Mossad is paying AP and David Wood. What is NOK?
It's like some
That's
Scandinavian.
Norwegian krona. Yeah,
Norwegian.
krona.
How's that proof?
It's not proof, man.
It's not proof if it's not in shekels.
Yeah. Yes, it has to be in shekels. Has to be in shekels. Send 1,000 shekels next time, not 1,000. No, just kidding.
Yeah, stop embarrassing us. No.
Mary Mac, do you guys know about Tom Robinson's arrest on the 29th? Tommy Robinson's arrest on the 29th.
You mean a week from now?
He was arrested in a week from now. Yep. I don't know anything about this. Monkey Mike said, by the way, thanks both what you do. No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Drew Traver, will there be a Hafs Quran 100-year anniversary shirt in time for July 10?
That is a good. That is a good idea. We might have to make one.
We have to do a special happy birthday song for the Quran, but it has to be in Islamic style, you know, in the Quranic style. It has to be like happy birthday. It's very long, but then it makes it special, and it makes it becomes thereby, when you sing it like that, it becomes a miraculous song. So it would be a miraculous happy birthday song. Yeah.
Hey, I told you once before, Osama Dakdok.
Yes.
When he encounters these Westerners who are like, "Oh, the Quran is so beautiful, it's so eloquent," and he starts reciting Arabic to them. He goes, "You mean like this?" And he'll start reciting. We go, "Yeah, like that." He'll go, "I just said I want to slit your throat and drink the blood." As this he talks about what he actually said to them. It's like they're so stupid.
Man, you could do anything with that. Hinson said AP should go on America Got Talent or American Idol. I'm considering it.
You should go on there and shake your booty and just do that. And they'll probably have to make you win, or they'll be Islamophobic, and you can tell them that if you don't win, it's because of a Jewish conspiracy, because Jews control the media.
The Jews, they told them not to give me any points. Robo wrote and said AP has the voice of 1 million angels. Wow. Yeah, this is good. This is true.
It's like a chorus of little birdies.
It's funny. As soon as I started reciting the happy birthday song, we lost 50 viewers here. So 5 silver pesos said, to be elected Pope by the College of Bishops, you must be a Catholic. Maybe look into RCIA. But I was told from a very young age that if I just believe, I can do anything that I set my mind to. So I don't really buy this. You know, sounds like you have a point, but I don't really buy it. I don't know. If you believe in it firmly enough, you can do anything. You can be anything. Yep. The Max said, Habemus papam papa retardo primo. Interesting. That sounds like a good idea. Pope AP late to his own coronation due to crippling melatonin addiction. So sad. Ayatollah Khamenei. Yeah. It is a bad situation. But I just can't stop, man. I just can't stop. Instantly, please buy our dear Mrs. AP Starbucks with this. All ham to y'all. I will.
What if she didn't want Starbucks?
Starbucks is we are, in order to free Palestine, we are boycotting Starbucks. Whenever you refuse to buy a Starbucks, you are freeing one piece of Palestine from the Zionist oppressors who are giving them free food. Alhamdulillah. Richard Dini said in Kashmir, Muslims gave Hindus 24 hours to either convert, exit state, leaving women behind for slaves, or be killed. That's what they do. Ayatollah Khamenei said, Pope AP be like, I'll sell you some indulgences for some of that sweet melatonin.
Crash his neck like a cracker.
Thomas Birch, David Wood, what are your thoughts about Sam becoming Catholic? And do you think possibly there are teachings unique to Catholicism critical to the case against Islam you haven't seen yet as an evangelical?
You can't just say, there may be teachings unique to Catholicism that are critical to the case against Islam. Like what? Like what? What's missing from my case against Islam that I'm not aware of? That by converting to Catholicism, then I would suddenly have this this awesome case.
Yeah.
Point is, unless you specify what you're talking about, you could say that about anything. You say, David, maybe if you converted to Buddhism, you'd find this missing piece of a case against Islam. And then I should, what would the implication be? That I should then convert to Buddhism because that would make my case against Islam better? Anyway.
Wait a second. What? Abdullah Merit Ozdemir said, April, will you cover Diamond Timmer? He has been put on ISIS hit list for telling a Sharia supporter about Aisha and Muhammad's marriage. Really? I know about him. I mean, we talked at the beginning of the show about him getting an arrest warrant, but what?
Why would they have a problem with him talking about Muhammad and Aisha?
That's funny. Let's see what that is about. What is that about? I see some icy posts here. What happened with this ISIS? No. Azaim Media, a media outlet affiliated with the terrorist organization ISIS, targeted Diamond Timmer. Let's see. Let us see. What is this? This is in Turkish. Daily Islamist. The Khorasan branch of ISIS, El Azaim in Turkish, posted a graphic targeting Diamond Timmer and says,
"Where's our graphics?
Oh brother, if you are silent in the face of somebody who insults your prophet, then what paradise are you exactly dreaming of?" What the hell? Is this real, man? This is actually a direct instruction in their way of having him of killing him.
I did get a shirt idea from that super chat. Think about a shirt that just said, "How old was she?" on the front, and on the back it says she was 9 years old, but it doesn't say anything. No information about who you're talking about.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I mean?
It says here, Azaim Media, a media outlet affiliated with the terrorist organization ISIS, targeted Diamond Timmer. What is this enthusiasm for violence, massacre, and murder? It says, "Oh, my brother, if you remain silent even to those who criticize your prophet, which paradise are you dreaming of?" With a picture of supposedly a terrorist shooting him. That is...
You're dreaming of the paradise where we spend eternity banging virgins.
Yeah. Stephen Mike said, "Is that a condom on a gun?" I thought so too. It kind of looks weird here. Like,
it looks like something from one of Hijab's sex shops.
Yeah. Which is very, very strange. I don't know what exactly they're trying to do to his head.
Found it. A condom works well as a silencer.
Okay, so I didn't want to talk much about this aside from just sharing it. I made a post about this guy on Twitter when I first saw the news, but I don't know. Maybe I need to talk about this sometime. Maybe I need to look into what he actually said and why he's being targeted by both Islamist terrorist organizations, namely the Turkish government and ISIS. Namely the Turkish government and ISIS, which are both Islamic terrorist organizations. Thomas Birch
You already asked it.
and Monkey Mike said, I asked my superior if we could send you shekels, but he said no. He told me to tell you, as previously stated, this is the Scandinavian branch of the Mossad, you dorks. His words, not mine. Oh, if it was your words, I would ban you immediately, but that's okay. That's all right. I accept it. Stop Animal Cruelty said, could Muhammad have been schizophrenic and Allah was in his head? Anything could be. Anything could be. I think he was mentally ill in a way, but not sure how.
We agree he was mentally ill.
Whingling Kachingaling said, excuse me, guys, but instead of being such Islamophobic bigots, perhaps you should consider to join me on my Star Trek binge watch marathon.
Spoken like a true wingling Kachingaling.
Alhamdulillah. Melissa Hogan, every time someone starts singing in Arabic, my poor cat gets up in a panic and runs away from the computer. Thanks, AP. My cat hates you. That's funny. Idol AP. Simon Cowell, you're going to Hollywood. What is that reference? I don't understand. I'm too detached from the culture.
They have on. I don't even know what show it is anymore. But they'll have the tryout, and if you pass the trial, then they say you're going to Hollywood.
Oh, that's from which America Talent or
yeah, one of those talent shows.
American Idol. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Now I get it. A Pope state prophet said, "As my first proclamation as Pope, I request all the melatonin in the world. Please, man, I needed just one hit, please." This is good, man. This is good. I love melatonin. I can't exist without it. Give me more. The next Zakir Naik said, the Muslim cowboy posted a couple days ago that he would drink out of a toilet.
Oh, yeah. He was actually, because I saw that, because the next Zakir Naik responded to it. But he was making fun of LGBTQ stuff, or specifically gay stuff. The claim, love is love. And he said, water is water. And it showed someone drinking out of a toilet, right? Showed someone drinking out of a toilet. So the claim is, water, not all water is water, but it's, wait a minute, your own prophet said that it doesn't matter if it's toilet water, if they're used menstrual cloths in it and stuff. Like, he didn't realize that's what the dude does. That's why it's like, are you a plant? Are you a plant? I mean, you just keep opening the door for us to crush your prophet.
I think Muhammad said water is water, literally. There's
water is pure and is not water is clean and is not made impure by anything.
But I think there's also a hadith in which he literally just says water is water. I think so. I remember such a thing. I'm pretty sure that there was a hadith in which he literally said water is water, making that very same point. In fact, I referenced that in the past in one of my videos where I was talking about things that Muhammad said about water. I don't know for what reason I did that, but I remember that there was such a thing. Yeah, he was talking about ablutions from the whale. Damn, bro, that's deep. Google it. Bum water. Are you a goat? Let's see. Water is Mike Winger. Water is water. Hadith. Rule on selling water. Water, underground water. Water. Interesting. I don't know. I need to look at that again. Now I'm searching word for word and I can't find it. I thought there was such a hadith. Sheikh Ma Wingling said Pope Michael died in 22 and Michael second is a weakling Filipino. So there's a vacancy for AP to fill in the USA. No need to convert, just overpower him. I'm on it now. Thank you for letting me know. I'm on it. Bank Raka said AP and David. Can you salivate your fingers and put it there and smell it live to give us a review and fulfill your conjugal duties with your nose, Mojab?
Sounds like something Mojab would say.
Yeah. We have entire files of Mojab saying very, very weird things.
Very, very creepy things.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. That's indeed what they do. Anything else you want to say, David?
No, just how hilarious is it? With the Daniel Haqiqatjou, the entire situation of him going and speaking at Queen's College. And you think, what's going on here? But how cool is that, seriously? How cool is that? You guys don't remember. You don't remember how bad things sucked 15 years ago trying to expose Islam when none of these guys would admit anything that we were saying. And now we've got Daniel Haqiqatjou speaking at Queen's College, giving his deranged theories. They're all helping us now. They've given us the golden ticket.
That's based.
Cool times.
That's based. So
cool
what?
Times.
So what do you say about that?
I'm just saying it's super cool. 15 years ago, it sucked trying to. I mean, I still did it, but it sucked exposing Islam 15 years ago, and everyone's just calling you a liar. Muslims calling you a liar, Christians calling you a liar, atheists calling you a liar. Everyone's saying you're a liar. And now we are shown to be completely truthful and correct in everything we ever said.
So what do you think about that?
Good times. You just wonder, like, where do things go from here?
So what do you say about that?
What's Dawah like 10 years from now? How can it possibly get any worse? How could Dawah possibly get any worse? Any more deceptive? Any more evil? Have they peaked? Has the Dawah evil and deception peaked? And it's just all downhill from here? I think so.
So what do you think about that?
Just what they do.
Peaking reminds me of a line from the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he says, "I haven't even begun to peak," which is a very, very good meme. Yeah, I haven't even begun to peak. Best show ever. So, anyway, with that said, we will be live tomorrow on your channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about that?
It'll be dope.
Nice.
It'll be super dope. It'll be way better than shows on your channel.
So, what do you think about that?
It'll be cool.
Okay. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to sleep and try my best to return to my dream to fulfill my duty as the Pope.
Take like 20 melatonins.
Yes, most likely. We'll do that. And we'll be back tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, everybody. And as always, in other words,
stay away from Islam.
You're a little slow.